And we're live. Welcome back, everybody. Second game of the day. Another huge Central Division matchup coming up. Nashville Predators, St. Louis Blues. This should be a fun one. If you missed it, this afternoon we did the Minnesota Wild against the Colorado Avalanche. Avs picked up a big win in the shootout. That was a back-and-forth game. So much fun. Real playoff kind of atmosphere to it. Very tight all the way through. Some animosity between the teams. Divisional game. I'm expecting pretty much the same thing here with this matchup. It's another Central Division game. Two teams very close in the standings, fighting for every point they can get in the division. And it should be a playoff-style game here between the Predators and the Blues. I'm expecting a lot of fun in this one. A really good hockey game. Two good teams going at it that have had great seasons so far. And I'm really excited to get the puck dropped in this one for Game 2 tonight. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you all so much for being here. Chris, Cap, Victoria, Kyle, Ikeka. What is going on, everybody? Thank you all so much for being here. Really, really appreciate it. It is stream number 2 of the night. We had an awesome first game between the Wild and Avs, and now Preds Blues should be awesome as well. And let's cap off a great day with a great game tonight. Austin, what's going on? Sasha, what's going on? Welcome in. Thank you guys so much for being here. Really, really, really appreciate it. We're getting ready. Second game doubleheader, man. I'll tell you, it's interesting when there's like a gap between the games. Like, I almost like it better when it's just one long stream and I can just grind through both games. But when there's that gap in between, it's like you come down, calm down from the first game, have this little break, and then all of a sudden, boom, you got to get jacked back up and get that adrenaline going again for the second game. But man, this is a great matchup. This is a great matchup. Should be super fun to watch. And again, I'm pumped for puck drop. Like, let's go. Let's get these teams on the ice. Let's get the game underway because it's going to be a big-time battle between the Nashville Predators and St. Louis Blues. Yeah, Nashville's very strong this year, Ikeka. They're so much better than I thought they were going to be. 24-12-3 on the year. Preds have been very, very good. What's going on, Red Rubber? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. No, puck drop is pretty close. Well, no, they just did the puck drop's 35-ish minutes away. They just did the jersey retirement ceremony of Chris Pronger. And Chris Pronger is a guy that some of you younger ones may not even remember. But holy cow, was he an incredible defenseman back in his prime. And again, some of you guys that watch this channel are so young that you might not even remember Chris Pronger. You may remember Philadelphia Flyers Chris Pronger, but that wasn't prime Pronger. Prime Chris Pronger back in the 2000s was an absolute beast. An absolute beast. And yeah, he had his jersey retired tonight, number 44, by the St. Louis Blues. And yeah, this is a special night for him for sure. So Nashville and St. Louis are, let's see, 2 points apart in the standings. 51 points for Nashville, 49 for the Blues. So very tight in the standings here between these two teams. Minnesota's right back in back of them with 47. So again, the top of the Central Division is very, very tight. There's a pretty good gap between Minnesota and Winnipeg in that 4-5 gap, but the top 4 are all stacked pretty close on top of each other within 6 points. So obviously a big game here tonight between these two. Yes, Cap, he did play for Philly at the end of his career. Yeah, Pronger got his number retired. Trevor, what's going on? Oilers, man. Matthew, Jason, welcome in. Yeah, Jason, tomorrow I'll be doing the Bruins and Hurricanes. Panthers and Predators, have they played yet this season? They're only going to play twice this year because they're in different conferences. I'm not sure if they've played yet this year. Yeah, Pronger was an Oiler for a very short time, Oilers, man. It was actually, it was the year that they went to the finals, I think, in 2006, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe it was the year before that. Hang on. Now I gotta look, I gotta make sure I'm right on that. But he wasn't in Edmonton very long. I do remember that. But he spent a lot of years with the Blues in the late 90s and early 2000s. Yeah, no, it was 2006. It was the year that Edmonton went to the finals but lost to Carolina in the finals. That was 2005, 2006. Then he went to Anaheim and won the cup in 2007 with Anaheim. And then he finished his career with Philadelphia, but unfortunately got hurt at the end and ended up having to retire early. Joey, what's going on? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, I'll do the poll when we get closer to game time. They're just doing warm-ups now, so it's still going to be a while before this game starts. Yes, tomorrow, Willie O'Rees, number 22, will be retired. One game tomorrow, 7 p.m. Just to look on the schedule. Bruins and Hurricanes tomorrow, 7 o'clock. Hang on. I'll drop the schedule in here. Just go, if you go to NHL.com, the schedule's right there. You can look at what time the games are. Trevor with the 1. Thank you so much. Let's get that dono hype in the chat. That is awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Jude, what's going on? Welcome in. Yeah, Kraken won over the Blackhawks in a shootout. So let's see. The other game going on right now is the New York Islanders against the Philadelphia Flyers. That was a 7:30 start time. And yeah, that game's still 0-0. Getting down to the final few minutes of the first period, that game's still 0-0. Nobody scored between the Flyers and the Isles. Some games that happened earlier today. Red Wings beat the Sabres 3-2 in overtime. Wild obviously lost in a shootout to the Avalanche 4-3 in the game that we did earlier. Sharks and Kings 6-2. Sharks dominating that game. Coyotes beat the Canadiens 5-2. This season just continues to go downhill for Montreal. And the Kraken won in a shootout over the Blackhawks 3-2. That broke a long losing streak for Seattle, so that was a big game for them to win. So those were the games that have finished now. The only other game going on right now is Islanders-Flyers. This game will be starting in about half an hour, and then Pittsburgh and Vegas starts later. I forgot who the 10 o'clock game was for a second. It's Pittsburgh and Vegas is the 10 o'clock game. J-Dog, what's going on? Welcome in. Yes, Oilers, man. No, Pronger retired early because of injuries. He was supposed to have a few years left, but he had to retire early after getting injured in Philadelphia. So, very unfortunate end to his career, but he had a great, great career. Jack, what's going on, man? Welcome in. Yeah, Pronger's ceremony. I caught the second half of it here while I was setting the stream up, and yeah, it was a really cool ceremony. And then for warm-ups, the Blues all had Pronger jerseys on, and yeah, it was really cool to see his number raised and him obviously his speech and all that, and it was just really, really cool to see. And obviously a guy that I remember pretty well from, when I was growing up and watching hockey as a kid, like through the 2000s. He was such a great defenseman for so long in the league. Yeah, no, I'm doing the poll when we're a lot closer to puck drop, because we're still a ways away from puck drop here. Teams are just warming up now because of the retirement ceremony. So it's going to be a little bit before we get actually to the action here. Yeah, Penguins and Golden Knights should be a really fun game later, too, for sure. That 10 o'clock start. It's definitely going to be an interesting matchup. We'll see how that one goes. Yeah, Pittsburgh's trying to pull into third place as Washington's been dropping a little bit recently. But the Metro is so tight that at the top at least, it's so tight. It's tough to say. Also, guys, if you haven't voted yet in the last man in vote for the NHL All-Star game, I believe today is the last day that you can vote. So all you have to do is go to nhl.com/vote, and it will take you to the All-Star ballot page for the last man in. And you get to pick one player on the last man in ballot from each division to vote up to 10 times to try and get them to the All-Star game coming up at the beginning of February. So I did my votes for today, and got the last man votes in each of the last few days. So we'll see who ends up making it, but that should be announced, I'd imagine, this week, because I'm pretty sure today's the last day, if I'm not mistaken, that you can do it. Hey, Elvis, what's going on? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Really, really appreciate it. Apple Hills, welcome into the stream. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate it, guys. Great to see you in the chat, as always. Trying to get these line combinations memorized here for the Blues. No, it's all good, Jack. No worries at all. I appreciate you being here. And yeah, obviously it was really awesome to see Pronger get his jersey retired and him to get that honor after so many great seasons with the Blues back in the 90s and early 2000s. One player from each division, because the teams are broken up by division, so you only get one player from each division, Cap. Yeah, tonight's the deadline for last man in, so they should be announcing the winner of that. I mean, maybe even tomorrow. They might announce it tomorrow because, I mean, with computers and stuff, it's not like they're hand counting the votes. Like, it's all automated, so they should be able to announce that pretty soon. Yep, I'll be doing the Leafs and Rangers on Wednesday night. That's going to be a fun game. Tomorrow is Bruins Hurricanes, and then Thursday is Senators Penguins. I haven't done an Ottawa game in a while, but they've gone out to Western Canada and picked up some big wins. So that was kind of cool to see with the Sens, for them to go out and beat Calgary and Edmonton on the road trip. It's like, all right, maybe Ottawa's a team that's going to steal some upset wins as the season goes along the rest of the way. So that'll be an interesting game to see if Pittsburgh's ready to go on Thursday night. And then, obviously, Off the Wall Hockey Show on Friday, so I won't be doing a game. Steele and I will be doing the show. And then Sunday night, I'm doing the Panthers against the Kraken. I haven't done a Seattle game in a while, so I'm kind of excited to do Seattle again, because I did a bunch of their games. Well, not a bunch, but I did a good number of Seattle games early in the season. I think I did like 3 in the first 6 weeks of the season, but I haven't done them in a while, so I'm excited to get to see the Kraken again. Vernon, what's going on? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Really, really appreciate it. Yeah. Lindros had a ton of concussion issues because he he played with his head down a lot in an era that you couldn't get away with playing with your head down. Like, I mean, there's still obviously open ice hits and big hits now, but not nearly the way that there was back in the 90s and 2000s when Lindros was playing. So, like if Lindros played now, I think, the head down thing wouldn't have probably ended his career. Whereas the era that he was playing in, he just got, I mean, absolutely destroyed so many times throughout his career. Because, hits back then, there was no real penalty against headshots. So you could line somebody up from a zone away and just decapitate them, basically. And that happened to Lindros numerous times throughout his career where he just got destroyed. And obviously, you get multiple concussions like that, it starts to really wear on you. And that's what happened to Eric Lindros. BC4F, what's going on? Welcome. Logan, what's up? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Really, really, really appreciate it. Good to see you in the chat. We're getting ready here. Still a ways to go before puck drop because they had a jersey retirement ceremony for Chris Pronger before this game. So it's going to be more like an 8:30 game than an 8 o'clock game because of the ceremony. So we still got a ways to go before the game actually does start, but we've got a bunch of time here to kind of hang out and talk in the chat while we wait for the puck to drop. I just gotta grab something here. Victoria, that's a great question. I don't know what the itinerary is as far as time goes for tomorrow. I have no idea. So, I'm gonna go live at 7, like it's a normal 7 o'clock game, and if it's a while before puck drop, we'll just chat while we wait for the game to start like we are right now. But I don't know from like a time standpoint of like what the plan is for tomorrow's ceremony. Yeah, Jack, he had a monster year that year when he won the Norris and the Hart is MVP. And we don't see defensemen win the Hart Trophy that often, but he had 62 points and was a plus 52 while playing half the game every night. It was a remarkable season. Yeah, that was a nut season that year. He was so good. Like prime Pronger was so good. It depends on where you were, Victoria. Like north of where I am, yes. As you got like into northern Massachusetts and up into like New Hampshire and Vermont and stuff, yeah, up there got snow. But like where I live in southeastern Mass, we only got rain today. It wasn't a snowstorm. It ended up being rain. So we just had a bunch of wind and rain, not actual snow. Jersey retirement, Raymond. Chris Pronger had his jersey retired today, or right now before the game by St. Louis. So this is going to be more like an 8:30 game. This puck isn't going to drop until like probably close to 8:40. It's basically an 8:30 game now after the pregame ceremony for the jersey retirement. Yeah, see, like north of us and west of us got a ton of snow. But by the time that, whatever that whole system came through to where I was, we were like south of the rain snow line, so we just got rain, unfortunately. Well, or fortunately, depending on if you like snow or not, but Yager did play for a lot of teams, Oilers, man, yes. Mark Bergevin throwing the puck in his own net back in 2000. And then Roman Turret giving up a goal from the neutral zone. Yikes, yeah. Oh, really? Some schools in Ontario had a snow day today? Yeah, so they must have gotten quite a bit of snow if they're having snow days. Yeah, wild card football game going on as well in the NFL. Um, the Rams and Cardinals are playing tonight. Red Rubber is going to have the updates for that game. Uh, you know what, Red Rubber? You're right. Might as well open a cold one. I got a couple other cold ones ready in the fridge, so we're going to crack the first one right now. And we're going to get a cheers in the chat. Cheers, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. Really, really, really appreciate it. We're getting ready for a big matchup in the Central Division between the Preds and the Blues. It's going to be hopefully a fun game, playoff atmosphere, just like the Wild and Avs earlier. And hoping for a great hockey game tonight, hoping for a great stream. Thank you guys so much for being here. Cheers, everybody in the chat. Let's have a great night of hockey. Uh, Oilers, man. Yager left the Penguins, I think, long before Sidney Crosby was in the picture, I think. If I remember correctly, he left the Pens and went to Washington. Yeah, way before Sidney Crosby was even in the picture. Yager's last season with Pittsburgh was 2000-2001. Sidney Crosby wasn't drafted until 2005. So when Yager left Pittsburgh, he had no idea that Sidney Crosby was ever going to be a Penguin or that Sidney Crosby probably even existed. Alex Ovechkin also was not in the picture yet when he first went to Washington. And actually, Yager left Washington in 2003, 2004, and got traded to the Rangers. Also, before Ovechkin got to Washington. So Yager actually didn't play with Ovechkin in Washington. He was traded before Ovi got there because Ovi was drafted in 04, right? Think Yager got traded the season before Ovechkin was drafted. Yeah, he was the first overall pick in 04. So Yager actually missed out on playing with Ovechkin. He got traded to the Rangers and played in New York from 2003, 2004 until 2008, and then left for a while, went to the KHL, and then came back with Philadelphia in 2011. It was an interesting career for Yager, especially once he started moving teams like that. But it's funny, like Yager left Pittsburgh in 01. Crosby came in 05, so that was a pretty decent gap between those two. But he got traded from Washington to New York the year before Ovechkin was drafted. Yeah, 66 scores. Well, that's been happening a lot this year, that's for sure. He did play with Lundqvist on the Rangers. Yes, Oilers, man, yes. 3 and out for the Cards. Oof. Hey, thank you, Joey. Appreciate it. Caroline, what's going on? Welcome in. Thank you for being here. My favorite sport in high school was definitely hockey. Football was second. You know, my favorite sports overall, hockey and football. But hockey's definitely always been my number one. Jace, what's going on, dude? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Really, really appreciate it. McDavid trade request soon? I don't know, Oilers, man. I don't know if McDavid's really the type to request a trade. I mean, I feel like things would have to get really, really bad in Edmonton. I mean, he definitely could leave as a free agent though when his contract's up. Like McDavid, how many years left does he have? So he's got 4 more in Edmonton after this one. Oh, that's still a long time. Maybe he does. Maybe he does request a trade. I mean, 4 more years in Edmonton for McDavid. I mean, with the way that they're playing right now, he can't be excited about the prospects of that. I mean, they're having a brutal stretch right now. I don't know. Maybe he does get fed up. Maybe he does get fed up and want out. I don't know. I don't think he's at that point yet, Oilers, man. But if things keep going the way that they are, I definitely think it's a possibility maybe down the line. I don't think he's at that point yet, though. No, game is not started. Chris Pronger is getting his jersey retired by the St. Louis Blues tonight, so this game is delayed because of the jersey retirement ceremony. Yeah, Oilers have been on a brutal stretch recently. I'm really, really getting concerned about the Oilers, and I think they might miss the playoffs, and that would be absolutely just unacceptable for Edmonton to not even make the playoffs this year. I mean, at that point, I think you got to start firing guys like Holland, Tippett. Like these guys got to go if they don't make the playoffs. I know, Oilers, man. I know. A lot of Oilers fans already want Holland and Tippett gone. And I'd imagine that they're probably going to be if they don't make the playoffs. All right, we're getting close to puck drop in this one. I absolutely love watching football. Football is easily my second favorite sport, right there with hockey. Football is awesome. I played it for 7 years, and absolutely love football. Football is king here in the U.S. Like the number one sport by a bajillion, not even close. Nothing else touches football here in the U.S. as far as popularity goes. I don't think they're going to be trading Draisaitl. I don't think they're going to be trading Draisaitl, Oilers, man. Imagine the return on that, though. I wonder what they could get for Leon Draisaitl. Like, dude keeps pace with McDavid points wise pretty well, and scores more than McDavid. Draisaitl's more of a goal scorer, whereas McDavid's more of the setup man. But Draisaitl would fetch an absolute haul of a return as well. but definitely not as much as McDavid. McDavid would be like the biggest trade return you could ever possibly get in the league would be for Connor McDavid. No, it was like that long before sports betting was even popular. Football's been the number one sport in the US for decades, and long before sports betting was even popular. Sports betting wasn't even really legal outside of Vegas until like 5 or 6 years ago, when the first state started making it legal. It wasn't a popular thing, and then obviously it's exploded now, but football was popular way before sports betting was popular. Yeah, definitely Oilers, man. Uh-oh, Red Rubber. Another 3 and out for the Cardinals. I guess Kyler is struggling here out of the gate. Not doing too well against this Rams defense. Yeah, I'll be picking the Leafs to lose in the first round of the playoffs for like the 5th year in a row. I mean, Toronto hasn't won a playoff series since I was in like 3rd grade, so I'm definitely not expecting much from the Leafs come playoff time. Because Oilers, man, because there's way more of a population in the U.S. There's way bigger cities in the U.S. Like, the U.S. has way more like big cities in it than Canada does. Canada doesn't have that high of a population. All right, looks like we're finally getting close to puck drop here. We're going to have some action. As Nashville is 2 points ahead of St. Louis right now in the standings, but it's very, very close in the Central. Right now, looking at the Central Division, Colorado's in first with 53 points. Nashville's in second with 51. And St. Louis is in third with 49. Minnesota trails the top 3 with 47. And they are in the top wild card spot right now in the West. But obviously, the top 4 spots in the Central are all very close to each other. And we have the 2nd place team against the 3rd place team here tonight. This is a big game and should be a lot of fun to watch. And again, this could be a first round playoff matchup. If we were matching up for the playoffs right now, this would be the 2-3 matchup in the Central. It'd be Nashville against St. Louis. So this could be a fun one. Should be a fun one anyway. Again, the game earlier was awesome. Had that playoff atmosphere to it. I expect the same thing in this one. Like, this is a big divisional game. John, what's going on? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Really, really appreciate it. Good to see you in the chat. Also, don't forget, guys, coming up at 10 p.m., Pittsburgh plays Vegas. And Pittsburgh and Vegas should be an awesome, awesome game tonight. Cross conference, like they don't play each other a lot, but they're both, pretty evenly matched, I would say, with the way that they're playing this year. So That should be a really good, tightly contested hockey game. No, John, Montreal is, it's just, I mean, I feel like I've piled on enough to them this year. Like, I don't think their fans need to be reminded of how brutal of a season it's been for the Canadiens, but they've really, I mean, they're the worst team in the league right now. They're the worst team in the league. And we thought that Arizona was going to be the worst team, but Arizona's passed them and beat them today. And literally the bottom team in the NHL is the Montreal Canadiens after they were in the Stanley Cup final last year. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. Like such a like insane drop off from going from the finals one year to dead last in the league the next. Although, I feel like the Oilers, when they made the finals in 06, what did they do in 07? I feel like there was a big drop off there. Hang on. 2006, 2007 NHL standings. What happened? Yes. All right. They didn't drop all the way to last, though. They didn't make the playoffs, but they didn't drop all the way to last. So the Oilers made the finals in 2006, lost to Carolina, and then dropped to 12th in the Western Conference the next year. So there was a big drop-off there, but it wasn't quite as bad as what we're seeing with the Canadiens this year. Now, Carolina also really dropped off, going from 112 points, second in the Eastern Conference, and winning the Stanley Cup in 2006, all the way down in 2007 to missing the playoffs and finishing 11th in the East. So actually both cup teams from 2007 or 2006 ended up with big drop-offs in 2007 and not making the playoffs the next year. That's interesting. Like, that's just, I don't know. I find stuff like that interesting because you don't see it all that often. Like, usually good teams are good for a while, but that wasn't the case with that 2006 final. And then in 2007, Anaheim and Ottawa was the final in 07. Hey, what's going on, Fire Fishy? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Rocks, what's going on? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. We're getting ready for the drop of the puck in this one. Yeah, I mean, that's as big of a drop-off as you can get, Rocks. Boston's got a really tough game tomorrow against Carolina, Austin. I mean, obviously the Hurricanes are very, very good, but Boston's won all but one game since the turn of the new year. So I don't know. I think it's going to be really interesting. I think it's going to be really interesting to see how it goes. I think it's definitely going to be a hard-fought game. Still feel like Carolina probably wins, but I don't know. We'll see if Boston can stay hot. They've won, like, 7 out of their last 8 games. Hey, what's going on, Tito? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. You took a chance on a draw with the Blues game? It definitely seems possible. These are pretty evenly matched teams. They're only separated by 2 points in the standings. So we could definitely see some overtime in this one. Oh, you're going, Rocks. That's awesome. So you're in Boston now, going to the game. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You told me that last week. Now I remember that. Yeah. So that's awesome. I hope it's a great time, and I hope you have a really fun. It's a fun game, and you have a really fun time there. It's going to be a great matchup for sure. I think you're going to see Rask in goal for Boston. That seems to be the way that it's trending right now is that Rask, I think, is starting tomorrow. So you'll get to see him back. Okay, John, what is your question? So we're getting close to puck drop here. We're going to get this one underway any minute now. So we're coming back from commercial break. Honestly, John, I'd have to like go back and look at the history of that to know for sure. I don't. Well, I'm trying to think now. I'm trying to think of like they've won a lot of cups. Like they won back-to-back cups in '97 and '98. They won again in 2002. They won again in 2008. But at the same time, yeah, so it seems like in years where they don't win the cup, the series that they end up getting knocked out in, I guess they're ahead and then lose the series. But the other years they win the cup, and like they've won, they've won a good amount of cups in their history, especially within the last 25 years. So they've got 4 cups in the last 25 years. So it's not like they blow it every year, but I guess in the years that they don't win the cup, they probably, I don't know. Again, I'd have to go back and look at the history series by series, but maybe they do kind of blow leads in the years that they don't win the cup, and that ends up getting them knocked out. I'd have to go back and like take a closer look at that, but anyway, we are underway here, guys. Puck is finally dropped. This one has begun. Nashville against St. Louis. UC Saros in net for the Preds. It's Ville Husso in goal for the Blues. So no Jordan Binnington tonight. Husso's in for St. Louis. We'll see how he fares against a high-level opponent like the Predators. And the Rams have scored at 7-0 in that game. Yeah, no, you're right, John. I guess in the series that they lose, they are up in the series and end up blowing it, I guess, at least throughout, these recent history. But they also, like, they've won more cups than most teams during that span too. I mean, there aren't many teams that can say they've won 4 cups in the last 25 years. They're definitely not cursed because they've won 4 cups. So, they're definitely not cursed, but into the offensive zone. That one gets sent down. Trying to work it through. Duchesne takes a high hit there. Blues trying to work it out now. This one comes up through the neutral zone into the offensive end. Parayko jumping into the play. Can't get the backhand off. Poked away, and Nashville clears it out of their zone now. Back up to neutral ice. Parayko steals it back for St. Louis. Into the offensive zone. That one goes down. Played through the corner. Big hit on the forecheck from Braden Shen. Trying to work it now. It's backhanded out of the zone by Nashville. Minute 40 into this one. We've already had a couple of good hits. Yeah, you got it, John. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, Coyotes have had a couple of random good years, Rocks, but they haven't been good much of their history. Good hit behind the net there by Jeannot. Hey, there you go, Fire Fishy. That's awesome. Wisconsin versus Michigan. That should be a great game. Chance in front. Oh, Husso with a huge pad save. Huge pad save there by the Blues netminder. And that one gets cleared out. All the way down now, going back to get it. Trying to work it out of their zone. Here comes Nashville. Carrier up ice. Into the offensive zone. Jeannot with it. Trying to work it down low. Trying to get it out now. St. Louis. Crew gets pinned along the wall. He pushes back. Long shot in. And Husso has to grab that with the glove. 17:26 to go. In the first here. Just getting going in this one. Couple chances already, but the goalies keep it out, and we're still scoreless. Alex, what's going on, dude? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Really, really, really appreciate it. Good to see you in the chat. Offensive zone face-off coming up now for the Predators. And they win it back. Kept in there, thrown back down low. Ben Harper out there. McCarron with a hit on the forecheck. Back the other way now. Here come the Blues. Harper steps up with a big crunch there on Mikkola. Moved up now. Taken here. Nashville goes back to their own zone. They'll regroup. Pass up by Harper to the neutral zone. 2-on-2 up ice. Into the offensive end. Nashville trying to drive the net. Knocked away to the corner, though. Tomasino couldn't cut it in. Now McCarron comes in and lays a hit down. Taken by Justin Falk. Blues start the breakout. They're going to move it up. Hey, Sal, what's going on, man? Welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. We got Behind the Arc Basketball in the chat. Thank you for coming by. Blues get it down low. Tarasenko gets hit there by Borowiecki. Blues send it back. That one's cleared out, though, by the Preds. Up ice they come with numbers. Forsberg into the offense, or stood up at the blue line and it's dumped right back out by the Blues, but that goes all the way down. Borowiecki has to play it. Blues come in on the forecheck. If you guys like basketball, Sal does college and NBA. So great channel for basketball streams. Behind the Arc Basketball, thank you so much for coming by. Chance now, cross-ice pass shot, and Nashville scores! It's Ryan Johansson finishing it off. It's a 1-0 lead for the Preds. Just over 4 minutes into this one, we get an early goal, and the Preds take the lead on the road. Big one there for Nashville as they get the lead in this game. And Ryan Johansson able to put it home. And we'll see what kind of pushback the Blues have here after giving up the first one. Looks like the O'Reilly line's going to come out. Interesting. Different line combination on... oh, yeah, I forgot to. My bad. Interesting line combination. Different than the last Blues game that I did. They've got Shen on the right wing, O'Reilly in the middle, and Barbashev on the left side. Poll should be in the chat now, so you guys can vote on who you think's going to win. I have no idea. This one's going to be a back-and-forth affair, I would imagine, as Husso is able to grab that with the glove and cover it. 19 to go here in the first. Ozone draw for the Preds coming up. Uh, 60% of you got the Predators so far. Big hit there. Jeannot comes in, knocks down Scandella. Preds trying to take it behind the net. Sissons can't keep possession, and it's backhanded out of the zone there by the Blues. Playing it back now. Bortuzzo backhanded up the wall, kept in by Jeannot. Backhanded up now. Blues clear. Back to the neutral zone. Played in by Nashville. Oh, big collision at the red line as that puck goes up and out of play. And I don't know who that was stepping up for St. Louis, but he and Tanner Jeannot collided hard right at the red line. And it was Bortuzzo, and he ended up getting the worst of that. Actually, they both kind of went down. That was just a big collision. We've had a physical start to this one. It does have a playoff feel to it. Every check is being finished. Every check is being finished. Like, you watch the first 5 minutes of a playoff game, and everybody's just pounding bodies. Everybody who touches the puck is getting hit. That's been the start of this game. Like, any chance to lay a hit, these guys are doing it. Taken now right at the center dot. Dumped in by St. Louis. Saros comes out. Plays it to Borowiecki. He gets hit by Sundqvist on the forecheck, but moves the puck up the wall. Back down now. Mikkola is going to play it. He dodges the McCarron hit. Works it up ice now. Tomasino poke checks it. Keeps it in now for Nashville. Sundqvist will get it back. He'll go behind his own net. Try and get a breakout here from Parayko up the wall. St. Louis chips it to the neutral zone. Behind the net now. Colton Parayko takes it. 14-12 to go here in the first period. Nashville got the first goal of the game. Holy cow, Blues don't have an official shot on goal yet. Its shots are 7-0 Predators. And they lead 1-0 on the scoreboard. Hey, Terry, what's going on? Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate it. Nashville back into the offensive zone here. Duchesne dumps it deep. Quickly moved back the other way, though, by the Blues. Josi gets back to deflect that pass. Here comes Schenn against Josi. And we're going to have a tripping call coming up here against St. Louis. And that play is going to get whistled down. Brayden Schenn's going to head to the penalty box. And Nashville will go on the power play here. So already up 1-0 and out shooting the Blues 7-0. Nashville goes to the power play here as Brayden Schenn goes to the box. Soviet Knight, what's going on? Welcome in. Dime Prod, what's going on? Welcome in. Thank you guys for being here. Really appreciate it. We have just gone to our first commercial break of this one. Just under 14 minutes to go in the first period. And we got the Preds and Blues going at it. Yeah, I mean, obviously, this game is far, far from over. Nobody's saying that the game's over. We're still in the first period. A lot of hockey left to be played here. But the Blues certainly haven't gone off to the start that they were hoping for, but there's still a ton of time left. Honestly, if the Blues kill this penalty, they could use that penalty kill as a momentum shifter and maybe start to get things turned around and going the other way a little bit. So this is actually a big opportunity for both games from a momentum standpoint. Obviously, if Nashville scores on the power play, they get a 2-goal lead, and that's big for them. But if the Blues kill this off, they can kind of jumpstart their game with a good penalty kill here. But we're here at commercial break, getting ready to come back for the power play. And thank you guys all so much for watching. Really appreciate it. It would mean a lot if you could hit that thumbs up and subscribe. If you haven't, I cover the entire NHL, so fans of every team are welcome and wanted here. Just trying to grow a channel where everyone can come together and enjoy hockey and have some fun. Jacob, what's going on? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you for stopping by. Hey, thank you so much for subscribing. Can we get some sub hype in the chat for Jacob, everybody? New sub to the channel. Give him a warm welcome in the chat. Much, much appreciated. We're back from commercial break now, getting ready for the offensive zone face-off. Nashville about to get their first power play of the game here. We got to wait for the shovel guy to get off the ice, though. Literally, one of the shovel guys is still on the ice cleaning up the snow, so they got to wait until... Cleared early here as we're finally back underway. Blues off to a good start on this PK. They send it all the way down. Yeah, I've watched a few of their streams, Jacob. Yes. As we had a big step up there by Bortuzzo. And that kind of looked like a leg-on-leg hit. I think they're going to call Bortuzzo here for a knee-on-knee hit. It certainly looked like it when he stepped up. Yeah, they're going to call 2 minutes for kneeing here against Robert Bortuzzo. And Nashville's going to get a 5-on-3. Yeah, I mean, he stuck the leg out and took Josi right out. Like, that right leg is extended out bad. That's just not a smart play from Bortuzzo. So it's a 5-on-3 now for Nashville for 1 minute and 31 seconds. This is a huge opportunity for them to bust this game open. Gideon, what is going on? Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Really, really appreciate it. Nashville setting up now in the offensive zone on the 5-on-3. Trying to extend the lead to 2 here. From the faceoff dot, shot blocked down and cleared out there by the penalty kill of St. Louis. Good start to the PK for them here. You get a good early clear on the 5-on-3. They needed that. Into the offensive zone. Here's Duchesne. Puck goes to the corner. Granlund can't maintain possession. Blues trying to get it out. Just can't clear past the blue line. Kept it out high now. Josi. Purposely shot wide. Rebound chance! And that one's ripped wide. Clears itself all the way down. And the Predators will have to rush it back up again. D-Wade, what is going on? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Really, really appreciate it. Taken now. We're still working around Forsberg with a shot. Not much for traffic in front, though, and Husso makes the save. Isaiah, what's going on? Welcome in. Thank you so much for watching. Back again, Forsberg to Yossi out high. Bomb saved by Husso. Still not cleared out of the zone, though. Preds keep it in. Over across now, Forsberg from the high slot. That shot gets blocked. Final seconds now with a two-man advantage. And a nice glove save there. Again on the shot. 6 seconds to go in the 5-on-3. And St. Louis is close to killing off the two-man advantage here. That'd be huge for the Blues if they can kill this. Hey, Dono from D-Wade. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate it. Dropping a 5 on the stream. Let's get some Dono hype in the chat for D-Wade. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Much appreciated. Cleared out now. All the way down. Two-man advantage is over. It's back to a regular power play for Nashville. Haven't scored yet. Back up through the neutral zone. Into the offensive end. Still 18 seconds of power play time for the Preds here. Back over now. Still cycling in the offensive end. Luke Cunnin down low to Nick Cousins. Back to the point here. Long shot. That one's pad stop from Husso. He's cleared out of the zone. And the power play comes to an end. Nashville unsuccessful on the 5-on-3 and 5-on-4. It's still a 1-0 game. Up into the offensive zone now. Here's Tolvanen. Ticking down towards the halfway point of this first period. Spin around shot. Nice glove save there. Blues take it. Backhanded across for Tarasenko. He curls back into his own zone. Jacob, I'm a Bruins fan. I'm from Massachusetts. I live about an hour away from Boston. And I've always been a Bruins fan, grown up Bruins fan, hometown team. But I cover the entire NHL on this channel. Fans of every team, welcome and wanted here. I cover the whole league. Moved up now, backhanded into the offensive zone. Forechecking pressure coming. Yeah, I love Scotty Hartnell, Terry. I always loved Scott Hartnell. He was so fun. So fun to watch as a player. It's taken now and dumped into the offensive zone by Nashville. Blues send it right quickly back out into the offensive end. Sent deep here. Saad and Perron going on the forecheck. Trying to work it around in the attacking end, but it's taken away by Benning. Breakout now for the Predators. Up ice Duchesne. Through the neutral zone. Over to Granlund. Granlund gets that one to Forsberg, who gets it to Benning, but he can't get a shot through cleanly. Gerry, what's going on? Welcome. Granlund has it now. Oh, cool, Jacob. That is cool. Well, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. Glad we got some more hockey fans coming in, new hockey fans coming in on the channel. Behind the net now, Blues send it in front. Chance here, Scandella with a shot. Saros makes a save, and we got a fight. Harper and Bortuzzo. And Harper throws 3 right hands, and they fall to the ice. That was a quick one, as Bortuzzo and Harper dropped the gloves. And it didn't last very long as Bortuzzo fell down there. Harper threw 3 good rights and just kind of shoved him over. And that was a quick one, but again, this has the feel of a rivalry game, as expected. These teams are 2 points apart in the standings. They're division rivals. And this was going to have that playoff feel to it, and it already does. And we get an early scrap here. We're going to head to another commercial break. Nashville still leads 1-0. Blues trying to get some offense going of their own. Nashville's had a lot of the puck possession so far, but we're certainly going to see St. Louis fight back. Yeah, they were definitely going to go after Bortuzzo after he took out Roman Josi like that. Front row, what is going on? Welcome in. Thank you for being here. Duck, what's going on? Welcome in. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Good to have everybody in the chat. Yeah, Bortuzzo, you knew that he was going to be a marked man after he took out Josi with that knee-on-knee hit. So Harper wasted no time. Harper wasted no time, and Harper is one tough dude. He's fought a lot throughout his career, especially in the AHL. When he's been down in the minors, he's fought a lot, so he knows what he's doing with the gloves off. Cool front row, a Caps fan. Well, welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it. Oh, that's cool, Jacob. A whole family of hockey fans. All different teams, too. That's interesting. Well, that's awesome. Thank you for being here. So, yeah, Bortuzzo, first he had the big collision with Jeannot, although that was mutual. That wasn't like he took a run or anything. That was a mutual hit. Then he had the knee-on-knee hit with Josi, which he got the penalty for, and then obviously Harper had something to say about that, and they ended up dropping the gloves. It was a quick scrap, but you knew Bortuzzo was going to have to answer for that. And now we'll have an offensive zone face-off for the Blues, and it looks like O'Reilly's in to take it, trying to get their offense going in this game. Right off the draw, shot there just goes high. Pred's trying to work it out now. Cunnin, he's pinned along the boards. Blues do a good job on the forecheck trying to keep this in, but it's stolen away by Johansson. Gets it over to Cousins, and back out of the zone, finally to neutral ice. Both teams kind of playing hot potato here with the puck for a second, and finally dumped back in by St. Louis. Saros rims it around the glass, up the wall. Kept in, though, by Falk at the blue line. He goes D to D. Long shot from the point. No traffic in front, though, and now we got some more stuff after the whistle. Shen gets into it with Carrier, and everybody else piles in. Johansson and O'Reilly get in there. Cunnin came in trying to get to Shen. And Barbashev's in there as well. And this game has an edge to it. There's a chip on the shoulder of both of these teams, which is exactly what you would expect with a division rivalry game. This is the way that rivalries are supposed to be. This is going to get feisty. There's going to be a lot of back and forth here. This is starting to have the feel of like a 2007 or 8 type game. Costin tried to throw a hit there on the Nashville defenseman, but he's able to clear it out of the zone. Blues trying to bring it right back in, but Sundqvist gets stood up at the blue line. Watch Tanner Jeannot in a game like this. This is his kind of hockey. This is his kind of hockey. I have a feeling he's going to have an impact on this game for Nashville. I think Braden Shen is going to get himself into this game for St. Louis because he likes this kind of hockey as well. This is going to be an interesting one to see how this ramps up, as these two teams, I mean, they've been division rivals for a long time, and now you have them so close in the standings, and both pretty physical teams. It's going to have that feel to it, that chip on the shoulder. Down low here, Tarasenko beats out the race there against Benning. Blues setting up now in the attacking zone. Falk rims it down low. Here's Robert Thomas. Sends it in front. Tarasenko just can't get a stick on it. He was tied up by Benning. And it's taken now. Josi dumps it in. That goes behind Husso, and the Blues will go back to get it. Looks like line change for Nashville. Moved up now. Of course I remember, Duck. It was only a couple hours ago. This game's far from over. It's only a 1-goal game. 7 minutes to go now in the first period. Nashville trying to come in on the forecheck. Tomasino with a hit there. Here's McCarron. McCarron's another tough guy. He's a big boy. He loves physical games. He's definitely gonna try and get things going here. Parayko takes it down low. Throws a shoulder into Tomasino. Blues trying to clear it out. Pinch there, though, kept in by Nashville. And now it's brought up ice as the Blues bring it Perron into the offensive zone. Perron trying to throw it in front, but it's knocked down by the Preds. They come back the other way. Played now. Perron gets it back. Blues through the neutral zone. Backhanded into the offensive end. Played up now. Cleared out there by Nashville. Johansson into the offensive zone. Falk was able to stop his path to the net. A deflection goes wide. Puck's in the corner now. Both teams after it. Couple guys for each team. Krug with a pin against the wall. Chance out in front. Taken by the Blues. They'll clear the zone. Here's Barbashev. He gets stood up by Borowiecki, but dumps the puck deep. Nashville gets back to play it. Trying to work it out of their zone. And it's cleared now by the Preds. Back to neutral ice. Hey, no problem, Gideon. Great matchup tonight. Happy to do it. All right, sounds good, Firefishy. Thank you for stopping in. Appreciate it. And when you have to go to bed, it's all good. Just have a great night. No, Jacob. I usually do like 4 or 5 games a week, though. But I definitely don't do every game or every night. But I do like 4 or 5 games a week from all around the league. Taking now, we got some more pushing here. Colton Sisson's trying to get involved. And the Preds come away with the puck. They'll bring it up now, cleared to the neutral zone. Yossi's backhand goes off of Blue, and they take possession back. Into the offensive zone. Taken here, trying to work it down low. Brandon Saad, back pass to the point. Scandella, long shot goes wide. And that deflects up and out of play. We'll get a whistle here. Sarah, welcome back. What's going on? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. We're going to head to our final commercial break now with the first period. 4:47 to go in the first. And this game has been pretty much what I expected. Very physical. We already had a fight. We've had a few big hits. Nashville's got the 1-0 lead. And it's been an intense affair so far between these division rivals. Wouldn't expect anything less between the Preds and the Blues. But welcome in, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. Really, really appreciate it. It would mean a lot if you could hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you haven't. I cover the entire NHL, so fans of all teams are welcome and wanted here. And we're just trying to grow a community where everyone can come together, have fun, and enjoy some hockey. And we're certainly getting a fun game here tonight between these two. I hope this keeps up for the full 60 minutes. I just dropped my upcoming stream schedule in the chat so you guys can see what games I'll be doing the rest of the week. Tomorrow is going to be Carolina against Boston. Wednesday is Toronto against the Rangers. Thursday is Ottawa against Pittsburgh, and then Sunday is Florida against Seattle. I will be doing streams for all the teams throughout the year, Doc. So it's going to be I mean, I can't do every team every night, but throughout the year, every team is going to get streamed. Yes, Rox, you're going to the game tomorrow. That's going to be awesome. That is going to be awesome. All right, we are back now from the commercial break. Blues on the forecheck. Keep possession here. Tarasenko with a shot, and Saros has to make a nice save. Hey, thank you, Sarah. I really, really appreciate that. I'm glad that you... I mean, it's better late. It's better now than never, right? So, I'm glad that you found the channel now. Thank you for being here. How was my day? Day's been good, Duck. It's been a great day today. I've got a lot accomplished. It was a productive day. Got 2 streams in. Had some fun hockey here, so I'm excited. Behind the net now, Kyrou. Blues working around in the offensive zone. Here's another shot blockered away by Saros. Mifta, what's going on? Welcome in. Says Nashville win 4-3. I mean, very, very much in the realm of possibility with the way that the game's gone so far. It's into the offensive zone now. Forsberg trying to dive the net, and he tucks it! Philip Forsberg with a beautiful net drive. And he's able to pull it around the pad of Husso. And it's a 2-0 lead for Nashville with 4:10 to go in the first. And Forsberg's just able to power around Justin Falk and pull the puck around the pad of Ville Husso. And Nashville extends their lead to 2 as Forsberg with a true goal scorer's goal there, driving the net and tucking it in. And just like that, the Preds are up by a couple. 4:10 now to go in the first. We'll see if the Blues have an answer before this intermission. Big step up there, and then Cunnin knocks down Mikola there, who tried to step up on him. And then Cunnin absolutely destroys another Blue right in front of the benches. Physicality is not slowing down in this one. Blues in front, trying to go backdoor. What a pass! Ivan Barbashev scores after a beautiful pass from Braden Shen. And the Blues answer just like that. It's a 2-1 game. Like 30 seconds later, the Blues waste no time getting that goal back. And it's a 2-1 game now. A beautiful pass from Shen in front to Barbashev, who just has his stick on the ice and taps that puck in the back door, just gets a piece of it and puts it by Saros, who obviously does not have time to get over. And the Blues answer just like that, and we're back to a 1-goal game. Back underway now. Preds have it. Back up now into the St. Louis end. O'Reilly and Shen with the assists on the goal by Barbashev. And the Blues are right back into this one. 1-goal game again. Set in front. Husso has to make a nice save there. Got a pad on that. Borowiecki out high. Shot gets deflected on the way through. Behind the net now. Taken by Scandella. Passes into the middle. Now to Perron out of the zone. David Perron up now to Saad into the offensive end. And what do we have here? We got a whistle with 2:59 to go. I think we're going to get a penalty. I think we're going to get a penalty here against Mark Borowiecki. And Blues should be going on the power play here, I believe. They blew the play dead when Nashville had possession. It's going to be a hooking call here against Nashville as Boro heads to the box. And St. Louis, who just got it back to a 1-goal game, will now have a chance on the power play to tie it up. Yeah, anytime you get the stick in the midsection like that, parallel to the ice, referee's going to make that call. So it's one back right off the draw defensively by the Preds. They'll clear it back out to the neutral zone. Good start to the penalty kill. And hold on here. We get a quick whistle already. And what do we have here? What was that, a hand pass or something? They just blew the play dead in the neutral zone. Yeah, it must have been a hand pass or something like that. Face-off now taken by the Blues as they'll take possession here. Now drop pass, some speed through the neutral zone. Up into the offensive end. Played over now. Tarasenko rims it. Shen with it in the far side corner. Back to the point. Krug back down low. Trying to find it in front there. Schenn can't deflect it in on goal. Goes to the corner. Tarasenko plays it. Into the middle now. O'Reilly back to Krug. Top of the circle, far side, Perron. Back to Krug. He blasts one. Saros sees it the whole way, though, and snags it with the glove. 1:19 to go on the power play. 2:18 to go in the period. And it will be another attacking zone draw coming up here for St. Louis. Yeah, it seems like the Cardinals can't do anything in the NFL game right now. So I'm glad I'm streaming this game and didn't not stream because of football. Chance again, and Ryan O'Reilly on the rebound. It's a power play goal for the Blues, and we have ourselves a tied hockey game. 2-2 with 2:13 remaining. O'Reilly evens it up. And the Blues come back from a 2-goal deficit before the end of the period. And they tie this game up at 2. And that is a big goal there for Ryan O'Reilly. On the rebound, able to pull it by Saros and backhand it in. He made the first save, but couldn't stop the second chance. And just like that, we are all even again. Mark Stone would be my guess, Jacob. We look like we might be getting a wild one here between St. Louis and Nashville. It's certainly shaping up to be. It's been a wild first period. Imagine if this keeps up for the full 60 minutes. As Kyrou brings it into the offensive zone now. Blues on the forecheck. Preds trying to work it out. Thank you so much, Sarah. Really, really appreciate it. Robert Thomas into the offensive zone. Over for Kyrou. He fires a shot. Saros makes a save. Granlund to Duchesne now. Up ice Nashville into the offensive zone. Matt Duchesne spins away from the defenseman. Tries to dump it low. And back out to the neutral zone. Granlund couldn't do anything with it. Final minute 10 now of the first period. Nick Cousins has the puck through the neutral zone. Curls back, plays it to Harper. Harper over the red line, he'll dump it in. Cross corner, here comes the forecheck for the Predators. Blues rim it up the boards quickly, play it to the middle and out of the zone. Up ice now into the offensive end, here's Logan Brown. Stolen away on the back check though by Nashville. Benning getting pressured from Costin. And that one gets down now. Cunnin comes in, a big hit on the forecheck, but the Blues move the puck. Then Yossi buries Barbashev there. More hitting in this game as these two teams continue to go at it. 27 seconds to go in the first period. Carrier takes the puck behind his own net. Nashville works it up now through the neutral zone. And that's going to be an icing call against the Preds. 15 seconds left in the period. And it's going to come all the way back down to the Nashville zone. Blues will get a chance here if they can win this draw on the offensive end, as that pass did not connect with anybody. 2-2 game, 15 seconds to go in the first. Blues have started to close the gap in shots on goal. It's now 16-10. It was 14-3 at one point. So shots are 7-2 for the Blues since it was 14-3 Nashville. As Yossi's just going to curl it back, take a hit from Schenn, but move the puck, and the Preds clear it out. All the way back down, and that is pretty much going to do it now. End of the first period. Horn sounds. Sissons with a collision with Schenn. An appropriate way to end this first period based on how the first was played. And the horn's going to sound. That's going to do it. Period 1 is over. We've got 20 minutes down, 40 minutes to go. And let me tell you, if the next 40 minutes of action are anything like that first period, I am going to be a very happy hockey fan by the end of this one, because that was a hell of a period. Pretty wild, a lot going on, some huge hits, a fight, 4 total goals, 2 for each team, and we've got a 2-2 game through period 1. So we're going to have some time now to hang out in the chat while we wait for period number 2 to begin. thank you guys all so much for being here. Really, really, really appreciate it. Please don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. I cover the entire NHL. Fans of every team are welcome and wanted here. It really, really helps out a lot and is greatly appreciated. It's trying to grow a community where everybody can come together and enjoy hockey and have a good time and get a chance to talk about it. Yeah, great rebound goal for O'Reilly. Beautiful pass from Shen to Barbashev on the first Blues goal. And Nashville got out to the hot start, had a 2-0 lead. Blues came back late in the period. And at the end of the day, we are all even through the first 20 minutes. Cool Fire. Nice. So you play roller hockey more than ice hockey. But yeah, still fun to watch. Absolutely. Yeah, Forsberg walked Falk on that goal. Like, just right around him. Out-muscled him to the front of the net and then was able to tuck it in. That's definitely... you don't want to see one of your top 4 defensemen getting walked like that, Jack, for sure. But, you know, I mean, something they can work on. Maybe something they can add with the addition on D. Who knows? But, you know, just if Falk could have just kept him to the outside, you know, it would have probably been a harmless play, but the fact that he was able to drive the net around him ended up in the goal against. And Forsberg's also very good at doing that. Forsberg's great at the net drive. Like, that's a strong suit of his. So, I mean, that's a tough player and a tough matchup that you have there if you're Falk. Because Forsberg is very good at that particular net drive play. Yeah, no, that was the Avalanche did sweep the Blues in the playoffs last year, but I think this year's Blues team is better than last year's Blues team. I will say that. I think this year's Blues team is better. I'd have to see like a full replay of it to get like. There's no question Greenway hit him, and obviously if he got taken out of the game after, so he was definitely hurt. There's no question Greenway hit him. It wasn't like he like barreled into him and like completely just steamrolled him, but he definitely caught him. And McDermott, I mean, did exactly what you're supposed to do. Went over and started feeding Greenway some right hands. So, I mean, that's hockey. Somebody touches your goaltender, you got to go over there and deal with it. And that's exactly what Curtis McDermott did. Obviously, nobody likes seeing their goaltender get touched. But if you're, you know, from the other team's point of view, you want to muck it up in front of the net and, you know, do as much as, you know, cause as much havoc in the crease as you possibly can. And it's the defensive team's job to protect the goaltender. And I mean, McDermott went over and took care of business. So, I mean, obviously, you know, you hate that Kemper got taken out of the game and was hurt. And I mean, it definitely, you don't want, like, if I'm the Avalanche, I'm furious about Greenway, but you know, that just makes him a marked man next time those teams play. I mean, that puts a target on Greenway's back. Like, you literally hit our goaltender and knocked him out of the game. Like, we're gonna go after you. And I think McDermott answered it right away. Immediately just jumped him and started throwing. And that's exactly what you do. So, like, that's hockey. Throughout the history of the NHL, that's the way hockey works. Somebody hits your goaltender, you go over and deal with it. And that's exactly what happened. And, you know, it adds to the rivalry even more and just adds more fuel to the fire every time these teams play, and that's how rivalries are built. That's how rivalries are built. Yeah, Gideon, I definitely think this year's Blues team, like, they just, like, there's a different feel about this year's Blues team than last year. Like, last year's team just never felt like they had it all together. And this year's Blues team, I feel like, has just a better energy about them and, like, a better feeling about them in the games that I've watched this year. And I think they're a more dynamic, complete team this year. And I think they're going to be a much more difficult out in the playoffs than they were last year. Oh, those were legendary, Sarah. Those were legendary. Yes, Raymond, I will be doing the Bruins and Hurricanes game tomorrow. That's my stream tomorrow night. Exactly, Jack. McDermott did exactly what he was supposed to do. And, I mean, Curtis McDermott, of all people, knows that. I mean, he's a big guy. He's a fighter. Like, that's what he does. He's one of the heavyweights, one of the few real heavyweights that are left in the NHL. And he knows that if somebody touches a goaltender, it's his job to go out there and deal with it, and that's exactly what he did. So, I'm sure everybody on the Avalanche bench appreciated what Curtis McDermott did, and probably gave him a lot of stick taps after, that fight, and said, hey, this is what you're here for, and we're not going to be pushed around. Yeah, that's true, Gideon. That's true. Yeah, well, they're definitely a lot deeper up front. They're definitely a lot deeper up front, Jack. Obviously, I think most teams heading into the playoffs have at least one area that's a little bit concerning, and I would say for the Blues that maybe they would benefit from an upgrade on D potentially, but I still think that they're a better team heading into the playoffs this year, and I think that they have a better chance of making a run this season because they're certainly deeper up front. Yeah, Saad was only with Colorado for a year. Had a pretty decent season for the Avs, and then obviously signed with the Blues, and is now in St. Louis. It's so weird. Like he's kind of gone through. Well, he's gone through a few teams in the Central. Because obviously he started with Chicago, then he got shipped out in that ridiculous, the ridiculous trade sending him out, and then Panarin trades bringing him back to Chicago. That whole situation of him getting traded to Columbus and then coming back, and it was just weird. And then it obviously goes to Colorado, and then now he's with the Blues. So he's played for 3 different Central Division teams now. Yeah, no, he's pretty much a goal scorer. I mean, that's what he is. Yeah, no, I agree, Jack, about the Blues on D. They could definitely could use an upgrade in the D, but at the same time, I think there are a lot of teams out there that could use an upgrade on D. Like, I feel the same way about Boston heading into the playoffs. I think they need like one more top 4 guy. Yeah, exactly, Jack. Exactly. Ace, what's going on? Welcome in. Thank you for being here. Avalanche didn't get anything for Grubauer. He left as a free agent. They didn't get anything for him. He just left in free agency and signed with Seattle. And funny enough, he's actually having a really brutal year with the Kraken. He's been terrible this year. Statistically, he's been one of the worst starting goalies in the league. It's almost like he doesn't have a top-tier team playing in front of him anymore. No, Boston's not deep enough on the back end. I don't want Connor Clifton and Urho Vakanainen playing I don't want them playing playoff games. Like, Boston's not going to beat a team like Florida or Tampa Bay or Carolina or somebody like that with Urho Vakanainen or Connor Clifton in their lineup on D. They're at least one defenseman short right now from actually being a threat. Oh, yeah, no, John, Craig Berube, one of the toughest guys to ever play in NHL history. He's also one of the leading fighters in NHL history as well. As far as like total career fighting majors go. He was one of the toughest guys to ever play in the league. Yeah, no, fire. I'm with you, I love Seattle's jerseys. They were instantly one of my favorite jerseys in the entire league, but the team itself is not winning a lot of games on the ice. But the jerseys are a huge win for sure. No, Sarah, not at all. I really don't play video games much at all. I don't even have like any updated systems. Like when I play video games, like I still play like PS2, and that's very rarely. I just don't have the time anymore to. I played decent amount when I was a kid, but not anymore. Yeah, Berube was one of those guys who like fought a ton and had like thousands of penalty minutes, but also could chip in offensively and was kind of underrated for how he was as a player. Like, he obviously nowadays wouldn't have nearly as many penalty minutes as he did in his career, because the game is just different now. Like, you don't have 300 penalty minute seasons anymore like you did when he was playing. Like 1993-94, he had 305 penalty minutes in one season. Like you just like nothing even close to that happens anymore like it did back in the 80s and 90s. But yeah, he could chip in offensively too. Like he had some seasons where, he was up double digit points while also having like 30 plus fights and over, a lot of times over 200 penalty minutes. Yeah, he was an interesting, really interesting player and big time tough guy for a long time. I mean, he played from 1987 all the way until 2003. So that's a long career, and especially for a fighter. And he played over 1,000 games, 1,054 career games for Craig Berube. So, obviously he added a lot to the locker room and a lot to the lineup for somebody who is pretty much a pure enforcer, who is getting, 20 plus, 30 plus fights a year while also, while racking up hundreds of penalty minutes each season. And for him to last that many games in the league, obviously he was well respected and brought a lot to the table. Yeah, Sarah, I have a couple friends that play Rocket League and they're really big into it. Yeah, see, I'm glad I didn't not stream tonight to watch the football game or something because this football game seems like a disaster. Absolute blowout territory. Yeah, Jack. It's funny. Calgary and Edmonton are slumping at the same time, and they've both dropped out of playoff position. So, you've got both Alberta teams plummeting in the standings right now. Hey, thank you so much, Firefishy. Yeah, we're getting pretty close now to 7K. We are less than 200 subscribers away from 7K. So, I mean, I feel like It's mid-January. If we have a big rest of the month, I might be able to hit 7K before the end of January. If we have a really big rest of the month, new subscriber-wise. If not, we'll definitely hit it in February. Definitely should hit it in February unless, like, something completely goes wrong. But, yeah, 7K is coming. Hey, Mikhail, what's going on? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Really, really appreciate it. Yeah, more like fall Berta. Yeah, absolutely. Gideon, I'll have to, hang on, let me compare stats here. So, I feel like Binnington hasn't been that bad this season. I think he's been better this year than last year, but maybe I'm wrong on that. Let me take a look here. Let me compare stats. So, Ville Husso has started 9 games. He's 5-2-1, so one of those games must have been a no decision. He's got a 2.13 goals against and a .935 save percentage. That is excellent. So Husso has excellent numbers this year. Binnington has started 22 games. He's 11-8-3, so not as good of a record. Oh no, whoa! Where was I getting Jordan Binnington not having that bad of a season from? 305 goals against and only a .906 save percentage. That is not good enough. Yeah, I don't know where I was why I thought Binnington wasn't doing that bad this year, but he's actually been worse than last year. And you're 100% right, Gideon. Like, Binnington's definitely getting outplayed by Husso. So, you might be onto something there. Because Binnington's actually not been that good. I did not realize his numbers were as bad as they were. It must be because the Blues as a team are doing so well and have been so much higher, higher in the standings. But 305 goals against for somebody who's supposed to be a franchise goalie, that is not going to cut it. That is not going to cut it. Like, if you're counting on somebody to be your franchise guy, I mean, you've got to have a save percentage up around .915 at least, and you've got to have a goals against under 3. Yeah, I don't know, but that's pretty rough for Binnington. If I were to buy an Avs jersey, what jersey would I buy? Well, I already have Cale Makar, so next on my list would be Nathan MacKinnon, because I absolutely love McKinnon as well. Max, what's going on? Welcome in. And yeah, it would be cool if Rene was still on the Preds, but he retired. But he had a really good career in Nashville. As we are underway now in the second period, 2-2 game, Predators dump it into the offensive zone. Have a good night, Matthew. Thank you so much for watching today. Really appreciate it. Blues trying to work it out of their end. Here they come up ice. Odd man rush into the offensive end. Tarasenko! Pass over Kyrou. Can't put it in. Scramble in front. Puck ends up in the corner. Wild start already. 30 seconds in. Preds come back the other way. Cunnin, drop pass for Johansson. He rips that one just wide of the post. And that gets by Myers. And goes all the way back down to the Nashville end. We have a fantasy league, Sarah. I actually have 2 fantasy leagues. One with on ESPN and one on Yahoo. We did it back at the beginning of the season. Shot in here, Schenn, and he scores! Brayden Schenn absolutely roofs it on UC Saros. And 59 seconds in, the Blues take their first lead of the game. It's 3-2. And the Blues up by 1 as Schenn snipes it high glove. And I told you guys Brayden Schenn was going to get involved in this game because this is his kind of hockey. This physical playoff style hockey, gritty, physical. This is the way that Brayden Schenn wants to play. He thrives in this environment. And he had a great pass on the Barbashev goal, and now he roofed one himself. And it is 3-2 Blues now as they take the lead. St. Louis ices the puck there right off of the faceoff, though. It will come back down to their end, and Nashville will get an offensive zone draw just over a minute into the second here. This is a Brayden Schenn kind of game. And he is certainly doing a great job so far. One back now, taken by Mikola, up to Barbashev. Out of the zone it goes, dumped into the offensive end. Thrown back in, Blues going to establish the forecheck. Schenn comes in and hammers one of the defensemen down low. That was Carrier, chance in front. Can't get it cleanly on goal, though. Back the other way comes Nashville. Preds out of the zone, up through neutral ice. Poked away, though, from Duchesne. Schenn comes back in. Here's Brayden Schenn. Pass over! Brown! The puck was in the air. He couldn't hit it out of midair to get it on goal. Dumped back down now by the Predators. They'll get a line change. Scandella starts the breakout for St. Louis. Rodney, what's going on? Welcome in. Coert, what's going on? Welcome in. Thank you guys for being here. Really appreciate it. Good to see everybody in the chat. Blues with a long shot in, and Saros has to glove that. And 17:55 to go here in the second. It'll be an offensive zone faceoff coming up now for the Blues. Already up by 1, 3-2 here with a goal from Brayden Schenn early in period number 2. Schenn getting into it physically as well with a good hit on Carrier. Max, I'm a Bruins fan. I'm from Massachusetts. I live about an hour south of Boston. But I cover the entire NHL on this channel, all 32 teams. And fans of everybody are welcome and wanted here. Just a huge hockey fan that loves the game. What's going on, Coert? Welcome in. Chance, what's going on? Welcome in. Thank you for being here. Good to see everybody in the chat. We got a hell of a hockey game going here between the Blues and the Preds. Moved up now by Nashville. Sissons through the neutral zone. Dumps it in. Yakov Trenin. Goes in on the forecheck. Played behind the net. Hops over his stick to the corner. Pinched by Myers to keep it in. Trenin plays it back out high. Long shot goes well wide. Moved up now. Backhanded in. Definitely wished that had gone differently, but the Bruins kind of got what they deserved by playing as bad as they did in Game 7. So, it is what it is. And yeah, it sucks. Obviously, being a fan of the team, I didn't enjoy watching them lose, but it's the way it went, and I'm definitely over it now. As it's moved up now, back out, taken here, and back up through the neutral zone. Blues trying to bring it into the offensive end. Here comes Kostin on the rush. He fires one. Blocker to side wide. And Tolvanen's able to get that out with some help from McCarron. Coert, thank you so much for subscribing. Really, really appreciate it. Can we get some new sub hype in the chat? And welcome our newest subscriber to the channel. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, exactly, Jack. So, like, I mean, congratulations to the Blues. They were they did what it took to win, and that's what happens. They won, and they did what it took to win, and they deserve to win. So, that's the way it goes. That's sports for you. Max, thank you so much for subscribing. Really, really appreciate it. Let's welcome Max to the channel as well. Another new subscriber. Thank you so much. Played up here. Predators back into the offensive zone. Cousins in the corner. Takes a hit there from Mikola. Behind the net now, Robert Thomas gets it through Harper, and the Blues will start the breakout. Some numbers up ice. Good job there, though, in the neutral zone by Granlund to break up the pass. Benning plays it now in his own end, but it's stolen away by Kyrou. Pass out in front, doesn't get through to Schenn. Taken now, Harper. Gets it and pass into the middle. Nashville with the breakout. Over the red line. No, poked away before Duchesne could get there. Dumped in now. Off the boards, Blues go back the other way. Here's Schenn into the offensive zone. Good defense there from Benning. Puck to the corner. Duchesne, pass into the middle. Taken up ice. Forsberg, backhands it in. Here's Borowiecki jumping into the play. Blues take it after a Husso save. Schenn gets it out. Back up ice now. Here come the Blues. Some numbers. Barbashev! And he scores! Barbashev rips it. High blocker side. It's his second goal of the game. And the Blues lead 4-2. What a second period here for St. Louis. And you know what game this reminds me of, guys? You know what game this reminds me of? Boston against Washington last Monday. Boston went down 2-0 in the first period, was able to come back late in the first and tie it 2-2 before the first intermission. Then they dominated the second period and ended up blowing out the Capitals 7-3. This game is headed in that direction, where the Blues were down 2-0 in the first period, were able to come back and tie it 2-2 before the end of the first, and now they're blowing it open in the second period. We'll see if they can continue on the same path that Boston did and end up making this a one-sided game, or if Nashville is able to come back better than the Capitals were. But this game reminds me a lot of that one so far. Just a lot more physical. This game's been a lot more physical than that one was. Let's move up now. Nashville into the offensive zone. Just ticked under 14 minutes to go here in the second period. Played now by McCarron. Trying to get that one in front. Kept out by the Blues. They clear the zone. Into the offensive end. Here's a chance. Costin gets hauled down there. And we're going to get a whistle here. Blues are going to go to the power play. Let's see. John, what's going on? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Really, really appreciate it. Hey, thank you so much for subscribing. Let's get that new sub hype in the chat for John. Welcome to the channel. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate it. Let's give a warm welcome in the chat. Bocephus, what's going on? Welcome in. Thank you for being here. Man, Blues are starting to take control here with a stellar second period. And they now have a 2-goal lead on the Predators. It's been 4 straight goals for the Blues. It's hard to believe that this game was once 2-0 Nashville. The Blues have come storming back. We knew that they did not want to get blown out on home ice, that's for sure. Vernon, yeah. Nashville is seeing blue. Massive disagree, Max. UC Saros is literally a Vezina candidate this year. I mean, obviously he's not having the best night tonight. Saros has been a top 5 goalie in the league this year, easily. You could argue top 3 on the season. So there is nothing wrong with UC Saros in goal, other than obviously not playing great tonight. But Saros has not at all been a problem this year. He's one of the front runners for the Vezina Trophy this season. Eddie, what is going on? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Really, really, really appreciate it. We got a penalty call here as Benning goes to the box, and we're going to have a power play now for St. Louis. Power play now for St. Louis as they look to extend the lead. Wade Black now top of the circle. Krug gets it back at the point. Working around now on the offensive end. Blues trying to extend the lead. Taking now another shot. That one goes wide. And it goes up and out of play. We'll get a whistle here with 13-11 remaining here in the second period. A minute and a half to go on the power play still for the Blues, as it will be another offensive zone face-off. Yeah, that was another interesting game, Rocks, that I did last week between the Blue Jackets and Carolina. Was not expecting the Jackets to blow out the Hurricanes like that. That was another one where Freddie Anderson, who's been one of the best goalies in the league this year, he got absolutely lit up in that game and ended up getting pulled after 4 goals. And, you know, that's another case where a great goaltender just had a really bad night, like we're seeing with Saros tonight. And there was one, Campbell, too, for Toronto, has had 1 or 2 games where he's just not gone well, but it happens. Saros is having one of those nights tonight, it looks like, but still, he's been phenomenal this season overall. Just like Jack Campbell's been great in Toronto and Freddie Anderson's been great for Carolina. Just one of those nights where things happen. 35 seconds now to go on the Blues power play. They bring it back into the offensive zone. Borowiecki with a hit there on Thomas. Blues keep it, though. Pass out in front. Saad trying to find the puck. Nashville steals it. They come up ice now, shorthanded, 2-on-1. Chance for the Preds here. Trennan with a shot. Husso with a big save. Moved up now. Trying to go back the other way. Out to the top of the blue line there, but kept in. Kyrou with it. Works it now. Pass into the middle. Nice save there by Saros with the blocker. Final seconds now. Power play's over. Preds have killed it off. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey. Blues still have it in the offensive zone, though. And a big pad stop there by Saros. Taken back now. Yossi in the corner. He's going to settle things down for Nashville. They pass it up. Benning over the red line. Tries to dump it into the offensive zone. Preds go for a line change. Blues come back the other way. Taken now. And taken back now by Nashville. Up ice. Tomasino dumps it into the offensive zone. Ripped around by Parayko for Mikola. Mikola backhands it out. Stood up at the red line. Preds try and take possession back. Going to get an icing call here against Nashville. 10:53 to go in the second. This was a big save here for Husso, as Trennan got a good shot off there, short-handed on the 2-on-1, but Husso stayed right with him and got a pad on it. Yeah, Rocks. Yeah, Canes are having a great year for sure. As that one's moved up now. Dumped all the way back down. Beating out the race for the icing was Tomasino there. Now Tolvanen comes in. Hit there by Falk. Trying to work it out of the zone. Blues able to clear. Yeah, Max. That's a bad time to have a game like that. I'd much rather have my goalie have an off night in the regular season than in Game 7 of a playoff series for sure. But I mean, every goalie goes through that at some point, though. It's more about the timing of when it happens. I think that's one of the great things about Andrei Vasilevskiy in Tampa Bay is that it always seems like he shows up for the biggest games. Like, Vasilevsky's a big game goaltender. Like, Vasi might have a couple of bad nights throughout the season. He might have a game here or there where he gives up 5 or 6 goals and you're just like, what is going on? But when you're in Game 7 of a Stanley Cup playoff series, you trust that Andrei Vasilevskiy is going to have a great game. And that's the way that he's been especially the last 2 playoffs. I mean, he's been a big game goaltender, but I mean, guys like that are so hard to find. Like, you can't just pull any goaltender off the street and he's going to be like that. Like, guys like that are so difficult to get because there just aren't that many of them. Halftime of the Rams-Cardinals game, 21-0 Rams. Wow, that's a blowout. Not the YouTube ones, no, Sarah. If you use the Streamlab links down in the description of the video, that goes directly to my PayPal. But if you use Super Chat through YouTube, I only get 70% of those. YouTube takes like 30% from those. Taken now. Moved across here. Blues knock it down, trying to clear it out. And O'Reilly brings it up. Yeah, Ryan O'Reilly's an incredible player when he's on, Jack. Absolutely. As that one gets moved up now, we've ticked past the halfway point of this game. 9:40 to go here in the second. And the Blues have it in the neutral zone. Nashville takes it back now in their own end. Yeah, Sarah, I like to sports bet a little bit. I don't bet a lot. Like, I do pretty small bets at a time, but I just do it for fun. And I don't have any bets today. There was nothing on the schedule that I really want to watch or I really want to bet that. But, if there's something, you know, I check the odds every morning and the lines and stuff. And just if there's something that I like, I'll put something down on it. But I just do it for fun. It's not like a real money maker or anything. Saros makes a nice save there. Saros is dialing back in a little bit here. The last 3 or 4 shots for the Blues, they've had some good looks, and Saros has made the stops on them. So we'll see if he can dial things back in here after getting beat high a couple of times to give the Blues this lead. As Nashville's back in, there's a shot. Husso comes across to make a nice save, though. And we're going to get a whistle here as we'll head to commercial break. It will be an offensive zone faceoff for the Predators when we come back. Ken Dog, what's going on? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, I did, Max. Goalie goals are always awesome. Always awesome. I also really liked Pekka Rinne throughout his career, so it was great to see him score it. All right, that's awesome, Fire Fishy. Congratulations. Jay Sean, what's going on? Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Really, really appreciate it. Wings, I mean, talk about a team on the right track. I don't think they're not going to make the playoffs this year, but they are absolutely a team that is on the right track to be filthy down the line. And again, Stevie Y, probably the best rebuilder in hockey as far as GMs go. And I think, you know, he's doing exactly what he did with Tampa Bay, now with Detroit. And they're going to be an absolute beast of a team down the line. They're still young. They're not there yet, but they're showing significant signs of improvement every year. And I don't think it's going to be much longer before that team is tearing it up. My second favorite team, Gideon, is Colorado. And ever since the 2001 Stanley Cup, Colorado. Okay, Fire Fishy, have a good night. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Joey, have a good night as well. Thank you so much for being here. Really, really appreciate it. Good to see you in the chat. Jay Sean's here. Ken Dog's here. Thanks for popping in, guys. Really, really appreciate it. Great to have you. 8:35 to go now in the second period. St. Louis with a 2-goal lead. Depends on how many shots against, Cap. So it's different every game depending on how many shots against, because it's save percentage. So, like if you give up 1 goal on 4 shots, that's a save percentage of .750. But if you only give up 1 goal on 10 shots, that's a save percentage of .900 because you stop 90% of the shots. So, it totally depends on how many shots. It's goals. It's like how many goals you give up, or it's how many shots you face minus how many goals you give up gives your number of saves. and then it's, you know, the percentage of saves versus total shots against. Yeah, Ken Dog, I agree. I think you're going to be back within the next couple years for sure. They're very much on the right track. Yes, Matthias Ekholm and Dante Fabro are both out for Nashville, so they've got some depth guys in the lineup on the back end. You know, Harper's in, Carrier's in, although he's been playing a lot this year. But Benning's in. Like, they do have some depth guys in. Favorite Boston player is Patrice Bergeron, Sarah. He's my favorite player in the NHL and my favorite player of all time. Xanified, what's going on? Welcome in. Thank you for being here. Another icing against the Blues. It's going to be a offensive zone faceoff coming up now for Nashville. 7:52 to go in the second period. You know Nashville's going to be looking to get this game closer before the intermission. They want at least one goal before the intermission, if not two, to tie it up. Taken back now, Predators with it, setting up in the offensive end. Walking the blue line. Taken here, Roman Josi. Cross-ice pass, knocked down though by the Blues, and we get a penalty call. It's going to be holding against St. Louis, and Nashville's going to the power play. This might be the opportunity that the Predators have been waiting for. They're going to get a power play chance here. Craig Berube does not like the call. He is yelling at the official from the bench, but David Perron is in the penalty box. Yeah, Gideon, there you are in rough shape for sure. John, what's going on? Welcome in. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Perron's in the penalty box now. Nashville goes to the power play. And this might be the opportunity that they've been waiting for to try and get this back to a one-goal game. Duchesne with it along the half boards. Pass in front. Deflection here. And massive glove save there by Husso. And the rebound, they can't get it on goal. That goes all the way down, is cleared by the Blues PK. What a monster stop from the St. Louis goaltender. And Nashville with a great opportunity, but they can't put it in. Goalie fights are awesome, Max. Absolutely love goalie fights. They never happen anymore, but they are awesome. Taken down now. Blues, good pressure here. Short-handed, just keeping it back in the Predators' zone. Moved up now. Into the offensive. No, they can't get it into the offensive end. Second opportunity. Forsberg finally does, but they're offsides. They are offsides, and Nashville struggling to get anything going here on the power play. They just... I mean, obviously, Johansson had an awesome opportunity there early, but once the Blues cleared it out after that first flurry of action in front of the net, Nashville hasn't really been able to set up again in the offensive zone, and now they're down to 40 seconds left on the power play, trying to bring it up through the neutral zone. Cutting into the offensive end, rims it around the boards. Tolvin in. Can't keep possession there. That's cleared all the way down again by St. Louis's PK. We're down to 20 seconds on the power play, and Nashville's back in their own zone. Under 6 minutes to go here in the second period. Blues still up by 2. Predators into the offensive end. That one goes up high and deflects into the netting. We're going to get a whistle here and a stoppage with 5:48 remaining. Hey, Pablo. What's going on? Welcome in. Thank you for being here. Yeah, big win for Seattle. 3-2 in a shootout over the Hawks. Yes, Xanified. The Blues are home in this game. Yo, what's going on, Avi? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Really, really appreciate it. We're under 5.5 now to go in the second period. Power play is over. Nashville, other than that first flurry of chances at the beginning, weren't able to do much else with that power play. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey. It's taken now St. Louis back in their own end regrouping. 5:05 now to go here in the second. Moved up ice by Mikola. Dumped into the offensive zone. In behind the net, Borowiecki's going to play it for the Preds. Stolen away from him. Thomas, pass out in front, doesn't cleanly get through. Preds have numbers now, coming up ice. Tomasino into the offensive end. Played down low, McCarron takes a hit from Falk. Behind the net now, Blues trying to clear their zone. It's Robert Thomas getting worked over by Tolvanen. Rimmed back the other way. Preds have it now in the attacking zone. Long shot, purposely wide. McCarron takes it off the end board, throws it in front. Blues the only one there, up to Tarasenko. Out of the zone it comes. Tarasenko with a good pass up to Kyrou, who dumps it in deep. And the Blues will head off for a line change. Behind the net now. No, I still live in Massachusetts, Sarah. Colorado just became my second favorite team when they were in the Stanley Cup Finals in 2001. Forsberg in on the forecheck now. Duchesne comes in and takes the puck. Back to Granlund, to the point, Yossi. Preds trying to set it back up now in the offensive zone. And that's taken away by the Blues, and they clear it out. That one's deflected, though, up and out of play into the seats, and we're going to get a whistle. Saros is in the net for Nashville. He's given up 4. Not your typical UC Saros game so far. Yeah, he's given up a lot tonight. Oh, very much so, Jack. Very much so. He's so much better than he was even just a year ago. Or even just, at the, even 7-8 months ago, he's totally different. He's so much better now than he was. Have I gone to any games? I've only been to one Boston game in my life, back when I was a senior in high school. But I go to a lot of Providence Bruins games in the AHL. I go to a lot of AHL games and also a lot of college hockey. Yeah, Ray Bork, one of the biggest reasons why, definitely, Sarah. Watching him win a cup in Colorado, actually get him a cup, which Boston could never do, made a lot of Bruins fans like the Avalanche. All right, so we're at commercial break here, late in period number 2. Blues still holding on to the 2-0 lead, or 2-goal lead here. It's not 2-0. It's 4-2. It's a 2-goal lead for the Blues, who have had a great second period here and put themselves in a good position heading into the final 20 minutes. Yeah, Krug's been solid, Avi. You get what you get with Torrey Krug, and he's been solid. As we're late here in the second. Thank you guys all so much for being here. Really, really appreciate it. Please don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. I cover the entire NHL, so fans of all teams are welcome and wanted here. Trying to have a place for hockey fans to come together and enjoy the sport and have some fun. So really helps out the channel a lot and is greatly, greatly appreciated. Thank you guys so much for all the support tonight. I did the Colorado-Minnesota game earlier. It was an awesome game. Doing, obviously, Preds and Blues now. Another fun game. And we'll see what the rest of this one brings us. We got a few minutes left here in the second. And then we'll obviously have the third period coming up. All right, here we go. Dumped in by Nashville. 3:35 to go in the period. In front, here's a chance. Duchesne! And not able to tuck that one in. Husso gets a piece of it. And cleared out of the zone there by St. Louis. But it goes into the Nashville bench. Out of play, and that's going to be a face-off in the Blues zone coming up. Yeah, Sasha, I'm thinking about maybe one of the games this week. Maybe Wednesday's game for Toronto and New York. I might do it. We'll see. But I'm thinking about possibly Wednesday night. It's tough to do them both. Like, it's harder for me when I have to do both at the same time. But I do want to keep doing color cast from time to time. So I'm thinking about maybe Wednesday night game doing it. John says Rams win 52-0. Yes, Flint. Husso started tonight, and he has actually been more than very good. He's been phenomenal tonight. He's been absolutely phenomenal tonight. Despite giving up a couple of goals, he's been awesome in net for St. Louis. Puck's down in the corner. Taken here. Costin moves it up. Absolutely did, Pablo. That was not a fun night and not a fun game to watch as Saros makes a nice save. Cousins takes it back for Nashville, trying to work it out of their own zone. 2.5 to go here in the second period. Backhanded in by Luke Cunnin. Taken here. Thank you, Jack. It's automatically updating, so I don't have to update anything anymore with the score ticker. A software engineer actually emailed me and made a special plugin for Streamlabs that could automatically update the scores. So every 50 seconds it updates. It updates automatically. Chance in there, not able to get a shot off there was Saad. Trying to work it around. Moved up here, gloved down by Tarasenko. Blues take it back. Thrown in behind the net. Saros leaves it for Harper. 1:35 to go in the second period. Played up now, Nashville. That pass was too far in front, and it's going to be icing as Jeannot could not get a piece of it. And 1:28 to go in the period. It's going to go back down to the Preds end, and the Blues will get an ozone draw. I don't really watch baseball that much, Max. No. I mean, it's okay, but I don't, like, go out of my way to watch baseball or anything. What do you mean, Kat? What do you mean by, like, don't I have a home team? Yeah, I'm far and away my number one team is the Boston Bruins and always have been. Moved up now, glove down there, over Robert Thomas, back the other way. Tarasenko tries to backhand it in front. Cleared back out of the zone, 1 minute to go in the second period. Back the other way now, Blues back into the offensive zone. .40 seconds. Granlund takes the puck for Nashville, dumps it into the offensive zone. Preds trying to go in on the forecheck. Blues looking to get back defensively. 30 seconds to go in the period. Trying to work it around here. Up to Thomas into the middle. Blues get it out. And they dump it into the offensive zone. Parayko knocks shoulders there with Borowiecki. Played in front. Here's another chance. Barbashev. He's looking for the Hattie tonight. He's already got 2. Blues defense has been good tonight, Jay Sean. And that one gets blocked as the horn sounds. We're through 2 periods. End of the second period. It's a 4-2 lead for St. Louis, who have scored 4 straight goals in this game after going down 2-0 in the first period. And they will head into the third with a 2-goal lead. We got 40 minutes down, 20 minutes to go in this one as we head to the intermission. And that is going to give us some time now to hang out and chill in the chat while we wait for the third period to begin. Thank you guys all so much for being here. Really, really appreciate it. It would mean a lot if you could hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you haven't yet. I cover the entire NHL, so fans of all teams, welcome and wanted here just trying to build a community where everyone can come together, enjoy hockey, and have some fun. So appreciate all of you guys watching. Thank you so much for the support tonight. We had a great game this afternoon between the Wild and the Avalanche, and now we got another really good one here between the Wild and the Blues. So we'll see what happens in the third period, if Nashville can pull themselves back into this, or if St. Louis is just able to hold on to the lead and carry it to the end. Super Bowl. Super Bowl, man. It's so tough this year. I mean, there's some pretty evenly matched teams. Oh, yeah. Okay, Kat. No, I just didn't understand what you meant. But yeah, Bruins are my number 1 team. Avalanche are my number 2. And it's not just because the Avalanche are good now. Like, Avs have been my number 2 since I was 5 years old. And Joe Sakic was my favorite player growing up. And then I don't rank teams after that. Like, after that, I don't really rank teams. I just have teams that I like, have teams that I'm indifferent on, and then have teams that I'm really not a fan of. But yeah, Bruins and Avs are my top 2. And it's always been that way since I first ever watched hockey, literally as a tiny little kid, 3, 4, 5 years old, when I was growing up. And my dad is a big hockey fan, so he got me into hockey. So it's really it's been my whole life. Yeah, Sakic was unreal. He was such a good player. Let's see. Yeah, see, Super Bowl's tough because there's so many good like evenly matched teams. I feel like every team has a weakness. A lot of the teams have really good things about them. I can tell you what I want the Super Bowl to be. I want it to be Packers versus Bills. But I do think that there's a chance that the Bucks still come out of the NFC, or even the Rams potentially in the NFC. And then in the AFC, I really feel like it's going to come down to either the Bengals or the Chiefs, but I don't know. We'll have to see. I want it to be Bills versus Packers, though. All right, see you later, Rocks. Have a great night. Thank you so much for watching. Really, really appreciate it. When Krug left Xanafied, I think pretty much everybody in Boston, wished him well and continued success. And it was not like a nasty split between the Bruins and Krug. Boston didn't have a lot of cap space to work with at the time, and they knew that Krug was going to get a big contract, and they really didn't want to give Krug that extra year. Like, he got a longer term deal with St. Louis, and he really wanted that, and Boston didn't want to give that extra year. So, I mean, obviously, we weren't happy that Krug left. He was a big time fan favorite with the Bruins. But, when he did leave, it's not like Bruins fans, turned on him or anything. We still love Torrey Krug and have wished him all the best in St. Louis and hope that he continues to have a great career. Yeah, and Boston's power play has been good. I think the emergence of McAvoy has definitely helped the power play. I think, them running 4 forwards on the power play has obviously been a good thing because they still have Pastrnak and Marchand and Bergeron. Now they've got Taylor Hall out there. Boston's power play's been fine without Krug. And, he was a big-time fan favorite, and I think most Bruins fans still love him. Yeah, Georgia's had a very successful season, or year, Max, yes. 28-0 now, Rams. That's just a beatdown of a game. He was our number 1 offensive defenseman, but I wouldn't have called him our number 1 overall defenseman. He didn't really play a shutdown defensive role, but he was certainly our top point producer. Absolutely. He was He was the best offensive defenseman that we've had in Boston for a while. Brad Marchand is one of my favorite players on the Bruins. Definitely top 5. And I love him and love everything about him. And he makes the game fun and chippy and nasty hockey the way that I like it. And yeah, Grzelcyk stepped up big time. I mean, Grzelcyk was pretty much a bottom pair guy when we had Krug. And then once Krug left, Grzelcyk moved up into a top 4 role, and he's handled it well. It definitely looks that way, Duck. St. Louis has got a 2-goal lead heading into the third. It definitely looks that way. Yeah, man, Vernon, I would definitely not want to have to, I definitely would not want to play Florida in the first round, that's for sure. That's going to be a brutal matchup. Boston might get Florida, too, in the first round. If Florida wins the division and Boston finishes in a wild card spot, there's a good chance that they would play it would be Panthers-Bruins in the first round, and I would not want that for, I would not like Boston's chances in that series, to say the least. We did not do Chara dirty. Chara's cooked. Zdeno Chara, as much as I love him, and as much as he had a tremendous NHL career, when he left Boston, it was absolutely time for him to go. And he's absolutely cooked. He can't skate anymore. I don't know why he tried to play this year, because he's not very good anymore. And this is certainly his last season. So this is going to be his final season. But yeah, no, I was more than fine with Chara leaving the Bruins when he did. He is not good anymore. I was very wrong about Grzelcyk, Jack. I didn't like him in Providence. Watching him in the AHL, I didn't think his game was going to translate to the NHL. I didn't think he was going to be good enough defensively. And that wasn't, I was wrong. That wasn't true. He was able to move his game to the NHL level. And he's actually become a very, very solid defenseman. See you later, Max. Talk to you soon. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. Yeah, Jaden Schwartz was awesome getting. The only problem with Schwartz is he had a lot of trouble staying healthy. Like, he missed a lot of time with injuries, which sucks, but he was a really good player when he was healthy, and definitely a fun guy to root for. Yeah, this is definitely Chara's last season, Jack. I don't know if he retires as a Bruin. I feel like there's definitely a chance he signs one of those like 1-day deals just to retire as a Bruin. Certainly, he's certainly going to have his number retired by the Bruins, and I think he'll most be remembered as a Bruin for sure. But I love the guy and absolutely loved him in a Boston uniform, and he was a tremendous defenseman for a long, long time, but it's definitely come to the end now. And he's 44 years old. At some point, you get to a point where you just can't keep up anymore. And unfortunately, that's what's happened to Chara with the speed. And Atlantic Division is brutal to try and call right now, Jay Sean. I mean, you've got Boston, who's getting better as the season goes along in a wild card spot. You've got Toronto, who's having a phenomenal regular season, but is a massive question mark come playoff time. Just because, I mean, every year in the playoffs, they're a huge question mark. You've got Tampa Bay, who's lost depth, but is still continuing to have a great season and are the two-time defending champions. And you've got the Florida Panthers, who could arguably be the best team in the NHL. you have a very, very valid argument that the Florida Panthers could be the best team in the league. So, the Atlantic Division at the top is very difficult to call right now. And, I mean, I think any of those 4 teams are capable of making a run if they happen to get hot at the right time in the playoffs. I mean, I could see any of those teams making a deep run. That would be awesome, Jack, to see him break that record for sure. Vernon, am I going to buy another jersey in the near future? If so, current player retired? I think it would probably be a current player. And I don't know about how close in the future, but I obviously want more jerseys. It's just about like, do I really want to, spend money on a jersey right now, or do I have more important things that I have to put that money towards? But I obviously want to continue to grow my jersey collection. And I've had my eye on a Braden Point jersey for a long time, just because I've become such a massive fan of Braden Point and the way that he plays. He's a small guy who doesn't play small. He has a massive heart. He has a massive amount of energy when he plays. Great scorer. Braden Point's become one of my favorite players in the entire NHL. I would say over the last like 3 or 4 seasons. And Braden Point's jersey is high up on my wish list for sure. I also very much want a Kraken jersey just because I love their jerseys. I think they're top 3 jerseys in the league, if not the best. And favorite Kraken player, man, it's tough to pick. And I also feel like there's going to be a lot of player movement with the Kraken, because I think guys that have value at the NHL level now are going to get moved out because they'll be able to get assets for them. But Brandon Tanev would probably be my favorite Kraken player. Unfortunately, he's out with a torn ACL. He's done for the year. But Tanev played at Providence College, which for those of you that don't know, I do follow college hockey here in New England pretty closely. And Providence College is my favorite team. My sister also goes to Providence College, although I was a fan of PC hockey before she even went there. But Brandon Tanev played at PC, and so obviously as a local guy like that played college hockey, 20 minutes from my house, I've been a huge fan of his throughout his career. Bruin, what's going on? Welcome. Really, really appreciate it. Coming out of the Metro is going to be tough. Again, the Metro is a bloodbath division at the top. Again, much like the Atlantic, you've got 4 teams. I mean, really, 3 out of the 4 divisions are shaping up this way, with the Pacific kind of being the outlier. But you've got 4 teams at the top who have kind of separated themselves, and it's going to be an absolute bloodbath between those 4 teams. You've got Carolina, you've got New York, the Rangers, obviously not the Islanders this year. You've got the Capitals, who are starting to slip a little bit. I'm a little concerned about that, but Caps are still in 3rd place as of now. And you've got Pittsburgh. And again, much like the top 4 in the Atlantic, I think you go into a playoff series, it's going to all depend on who's playing the best right now, because I think they're all capable of beating each other. It's just going to depend on who shows up at the right time come playoff series, and those are going to, that's going to be the team that makes the run, and the other teams are going to be out early. And again, I think all 4 of those teams are capable of making runs, but it's just going to be who plays well at the right time. If I had to pick right now, Carolina would be the team that I would not want to play in a playoff series out of the Metro. But Pittsburgh's having a really good year. Rangers, I mean, they're leading the division right now. And if Shesterkin's healthy, he's not going to be easy to score on in the playoffs. So, that would be tough. Let me tell you this. When we get to the playoffs, whatever the matchups are going to be, it's going to be extremely tight. Like, we're going to get some ridiculously good matchups in the first round. Teams are going to be, there's going to be like this much separation between teams, and it's all going to come down to who can execute at the right time, who wins the game in overtime, who has a big third period to pull out a win, who is playing their best hockey in the playoffs as opposed to the regular season. It's going to come down to the littlest of margins in the playoffs because all of these teams, particularly in the East, are so evenly matched. My favorite Dallas star. It's probably between Jamie Benn and Miro Heiskanen. I would probably say that Heiskanen has taken over. Ben's play has kind of dropped off over the last few years. I would probably say Heiskanen. Evan, what's going on? Welcome in. Thank you for being here. Kuhlman being claimed by the Kraken. I mean, he's a depth guy. I don't think it's a big deal. Obviously, he's been passed on the depth chart by guys like Steen and Bleed, who have all been playing better. So I don't think it's that big of a loss, other than from a depth standpoint. But if Boston's healthy, Kuhlman's not in the lineup anyway. Worst Bruins team that I have seen, that I remember, would be the Dave Lewis year. Boston also had some really bad seasons, like right before the lockout, like in the early 2000s, but that I vividly remember watching 2006, the year that Dave Lewis was the head coach of the Bruins. They were absolutely horrendous that year. No, I do not want to see the Panthers, Sarah. I don't think any team should want to see the Panthers in the playoffs because I think Florida is an absolute juggernaut of a team this year. Welcome in, Evan. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. I do like those jerseys, Vernon. The Canucks jerseys with the skate logo. I love those jerseys. Central Division is in the exact same situation as the East. It's four teams who have separated themselves at the top, and it's going to be a bloodbath among those four teams. You've got Colorado, Nashville, St. Louis, and Minnesota. And again, those teams are fairly evenly matched. They're all having very good seasons, and it's going to come down to who's playing the best hockey at the right time in the playoffs. Any of those four are capable of going on runs. And those four have separated themselves from the rest of the division, where you've got like Winnipeg and Dallas, who are trying to pull themselves back into a playoff position, but are, pretty decently far back for this late in the year. All right, everybody. We're getting ready for the start of the third. So teams are lined up at center ice. It's a 4-2 St. Louis lead. And we are ready for the start here of period 3 as the puck is dropped and Justin Falk takes it for the Blues. They dump that one in. And that rolls right in on Saros, who will glove it. And we'll have an offensive zone faceoff for the Blues coming up. All right, so we are just getting going here in period 3. Nashville is going to need a big-time comeback in the third if they're going to get a point out of this game. St. Louis with the 2-goal lead. They're just trying to hold on and put this game away for the final 20 minutes. We'll see which team is able to prevail here as it's moved up by the Predators out of their zone. Taken back now, Blues, possession, Falk in his own end. Goes D to D, gets it over to Krug. Krug will spin off the forechecking pressure. Just make a possession play back to Falk. 30 seconds in. Moved up over the red line. Robert Thomas into the offensive zone. Thomas goes in on the forecheck. Played to the corner. Carrier takes it. Played up now over the red line. That gets dumped in by Nashville. Husso plays it to Parayko. Parayko brings it up and out of the zone. Able to clear for the Blues. Preds get it back in their own end. And they'll try and move it out. Taken here. Played into the offensive zone now. High shot goes wide 1 minute into the third. Vegas has got a 2-0 lead on Pittsburgh. So looks like the Knights are off to a good start in that one. Just as I was praising Pittsburgh in the season that they've had at the intermission. Moved up now. Played here. Sawed into the offensive zone. Taken here, chip to the middle. Harper with it, trying to get it up to Jeannot. And good back check from St. Louis. They're able to send it back to the neutral zone. And Nashville's got to tag up on or get on sides here. Blues take possession. Perron out of the zone, pass into the middle. Tipped back in by the Preds, but again, they have to get on side. Oh, Kat, thank you. I don't have a P.O. box, but send me an email. Hang on. At offthewallhockey@gmail.com. Send me an email, Kat, and I will certainly give you a response there privately. And we can talk. So, thank you. Really appreciate that. And just if you want to talk privately about that, just shoot me an email and I'll answer you as soon as I can after the stream's over, and we can discuss. Jay Sean, coming out of the Pacific, I mean, I think Vegas is the best team and probably should be the favorite, and I think it would be an upset if Vegas didn't come out of the Pacific, but I don't know, maybe another team is able to go on a run, you know, maybe you know, somebody gets hot at the right time like we saw with Dallas a couple years ago, or with Montreal last year. And if they get hot at the right time, they can pull off those upsets. But right now, I would say that Vegas is the favorite in the Pacific. My favorite Tampa Bay player, it's weird saying this as a Bruins fan because Tampa and Boston has kind of developed this big rivalry over the last like 4 to 5 years, but I actually like a lot of players on the Tampa Bay Lightning, and I really do kind of like the Lightning a lot because I like so many of their players, but Braden Point is definitely my favorite. Braden Point is one of my favorite players in the entire league. As it's dumped in there by O'Reilly. We're over 3 minutes into the third now. Scores still 4-2. Pass out in front there. Nobody home. Duchesne takes it and the Preds will start the breakout. But they turn it over in the neutral zone as Granlund can't control it. And it's played back the other way now by St. Louis as they dump it into the offensive zone. Played around now. Preds still looking for a couple of goals. Into the offensive end. Back here. Long shot, that one goes wide. And the play's off sides here. Blues were going back the other way. Goes back the other way, but their Blues are off sides, and we'll get a stoppage here in the neutral zone face-off coming up. Exactly, Gideon. I think you can even throw Minnesota into that mix. Minnesota's a good team too. They played a very strong game against Colorado today, got a point out of it. All these teams are so evenly matched at the top of these divisions that it's really hard to say who's going to come out of it, cuz come playoff time, I really think it's going to be a free for all. It's going to be an absolute free for all. Exactly, Xanafied. That's Point plays not like he's a small guy. He's definitely a smaller player, but he doesn't play that way. He has a huge heart. He's not afraid to get involved physically. He's just my kind of player. High energy guy with a ton of skill and a ton of passion and a ton of grit to his game as well. And that's what's made me such a huge fan of Point over the last few years. Patrick, what's going on? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Really, really appreciate it. Puck's moved up now. Dumped into the offensive zone. Preds trying to go in on the attack here, but Blues are doing a good job of getting it out. It's Scandella off glass and trying to find this puck now. Blues get it into the offensive zone. Chance here. Sod has it poked away at the last second. Yeah, I mean, Vasilevsky's just unbelievable. I mean, I've been saying for like 3 years now he's the best goalie in the league, and I will continue to say that. And I mean, if I was starting a franchise and needed one goaltender to be my elite number one, I'm picking Andrei Vasilevsky as my first choice. As that sent all the way down, Blues clear again. 14-20 now to go in the third period. Nashville still down by 2. Phil Myers behind his own net, trying to get some offense going here are the Predators, but Blues are doing a good job of kind of shutting them down here and keeping everything to the outside. Played up now. Yeah, at this point, Duck, I would probably have to go with McDavid on the Oilers. I would have to agree with that, as Costin collides there with Jeannot. Back the other way, shot from Borowiecki goes high and wide. Benning keeps it in. Predators trying to work it in the offensive zone. Trennan down low. They need a couple goals here in the third to try and get back into this. Or at least tie this up and get it to overtime. But Blues clear that one all the way down. Both teams will get line changes. 13-15 now to go in the third. Fire Punk, what's going on? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Really, really appreciate it. Moved up now into the offensive zone. Backhanded the other way. Taken here. Shen, pass out high. Blues long shot. Rebound chance! Barbashev going for the hat trick, but it gets deflected up high off glass. Worked up now. Cleared to the middle. And Blues are going to regroup back in their own zone. Fire Punk. Preds are going to have to find some offense quickly if they're going to come back in this one. They haven't scored since the first period. So Blues are in a good spot right now. Preds are going to have to get the goal scoring going here pretty quick. Down to 12-20 left in the third. Puck's moved up. Blues get it out. Kyrou into the offensive zone. Good stand-up, though, by the Preds defensively. They have met in the playoffs, Gideon. I mean, not the last few years, but they played in the playoffs in 2014. They played in the playoffs in 2011. They played in the playoffs a couple times during the 2000s as well. So, and then obviously throughout their history, they've played a lot in the playoffs, which is one of the biggest things that's built that rivalry. But they haven't met in the playoffs in a while. It's been too long. I'd love to get another Bruins-Canadiens playoff series, but obviously with the shape that Montreal's in right now, it doesn't look like it's going to be happening at least in the next couple of years. Certainly not. Offensive zone draw one here by the Preds. Yossi down in the corner. Can't get that one through. Blues come away with it and they clear it out. All the way back down to the Nashville zone. Forsberg plays it. Around his own net. Skates it up and starts the breakout. Some speed through the neutral zone. Pass gets stolen by Barbashev up to Shen. Blues coming back the other way. Here's a chance. A shot from O'Reilly and Saros makes the save. Big hit there. Barbashev hammers down Granlund. Trying to get it out now. Nashville player goes down over Shen's stick. And I think we're going to get a penalty here against Braden Shen. It's going to be tripping. Preds are going to go to the power play. And Nashville here now on the power play as we had to commercial break. Third period. This is going to be a big opportunity for the Predators. Can they take advantage of this man-up opportunity and get this back to a one-goal game? Favorite Pred? No, it's Tanner Jeannot now. After the way that he's played this year, he has taken over my favorite Predator spot. I absolutely love him and what he brings to the table. Wow, Nicholas Waugh, 3-0 Vegas. Not Pittsburgh's night tonight. All right. Sarah, actually, being on commercial break is a good time to talk about this, because I could honestly talk for, I could do like a whole stream on like YouTube advice I would give to like new channels and stuff. But I guess some of the biggest things would be find your niche and stick with it, because that's going to be what your channel's about and what's going to make people want to subscribe. So like if you're a cooking channel, stick to cooking. If you're a hockey channel, stick to hockey. If you're a comedy channel, stick to comedy. Like, because people go to specific channels for specific things. So that's something that I was taught or told very early on, was that like, don't try and be like an everything channel, because it's going to be hard to get subscribers, because people only go to certain channels for certain things. Don't expect overnight success. Like it takes a lot to it takes a lot of work to build a channel, and like it doesn't just happen overnight. So don't think you're gonna come in and have like 5K subscribers in the first month or something like that. It definitely doesn't happen overnight. You got to be willing to grind and put in a lot of work and do a lot of content to build it. And man, there's more. I could do like a whole stream on that and talk about just what building a channel has been like for me, and a lot of the lessons that I've had to learn along the way. But yeah, we're back to the game now. So another time is, especially like when I'm not doing a game, that's actually a pretty good idea of something to talk about on a stream for sure. Taken now. Rimmed around. Pred's trying to set up here in the offensive end. 1:20 to go. Played down low. Worked up here. Back to the point. Out high. Yossi with a bomb, and that one hit somebody on the way through. I think it hit Duchesne in front. Ends up in the corner. Back now. Taken here. Granlund on the half wall. Still a minute of power play time. Shot there. Husso gets the stop. Johansson couldn't fire on the rebound chance. Taken out in. Shot there. That one hits the post. Pred so close, but they couldn't put it home. Impossible to compare the two, Giddy, and they're completely different players. I've always hated that question, because they're completely different players. Like, they just play the game opposite styles. Like, Ovechkin's a pure goal scorer, a sniper, scores a ton of goals. That's what he's there to do. Crosby's more that centerman, two-way forward playmaker. I've always hated that question, because I think they're impossible to compare, because, like, they're just... You know how, like, the old NHL games, or actually the new NHL games might also still do it, but they gave a label to the players. Like, I remember back in, like, playing NHL 2004, and players were labeled, like, playmaker, sniper, grinder, enforcer. Like, they had different labels. Crosby and Ovechkin have completely different labels. They're completely different style of players. So I think it's extremely hard to compare them, and I don't like comparing them, because I think they've both had phenomenal careers. They're two of the best players to ever play the game of hockey, and I think they should just be celebrated as two of the best players to ever play the game of hockey. Yeah, exactly. Like, Cat, it's different. It's different for like what your purpose is of the channel. Like, when you make a channel, and if you're making it like just for you, or you're just doing it for fun, or you just want like a few people to see it, like, you could literally make that an everything channel and just do whatever you want on that channel. When I talk about like tips for YouTube and stuff, I am talking more from the perspective of somebody who wants to make their channel big, and like wants to grow on YouTube, and like wants to build a channel that's like a business, a profitable business at the end of the day. So I come at it from that perspective. you can do whatever you want on YouTube. If you're just doing it for fun and you don't really care if you gain subscribers or not, or how many people view your videos, like, then just have fun with it and do whatever you want. But like, when I'm giving advice to people who ask about YouTube and stuff, I'm doing it from the perspective of building a channel, getting more subscribers, getting more views, and trying to make it a business. Yeah, no, Bocephus, I agree. Like, Husso, I think, is taking over. Like, he's playing very, very well. He's putting up much better numbers than Binnington, and I honestly think he is taking over that #1 job. Hey, we'll talk, Sasha. We'll talk. I would definitely want to do that trade after this week, though, when we're not playing each other. But after this week, we can talk. Elijah, what's going on? Welcome in. I apologize if I missed saying hi to you. My favorite blue, again, the Blues have a lot of guys that I like, but especially Torrey Krug, because former Bruin. But I'd probably say Braden Shen. I've been a massive Braden Shen fan for really his entire career. Moved into the middle now. Nashville with a chance here. Myers with a shot. Rebound chance. And that one goes in. Yakov Trenin scores. 8:27 to go in Nashville. Makes it a 1-goal game as it's 4-3. And that is a big goal for the Preds, as they now have 8.5 minutes left to try and tie this. And that is a big goal there for Trenin, who finds the rebound in front, is able to slide it by Husso. And the Preds are back within 1 now with 8:27 to go. Chance now. Preds right back in. 4-3 game. Duchesne in the offensive zone, but he loses it. Justin Falk takes it away. Moved up now. And that's going to be icing against the Blues, as the Preds will get an ozone draw here. 8:06 remaining. Nashville's making a game of this. Well, Johnny, if the NHL players were going to the Olympics, I would have been doing Olympic games, but now the NHL is going to schedule a bunch of makeup games from postponements earlier in the year during the Olympic break, so I'll probably be streaming those NHL games. There really isn't going to be an Olympic break now. There's going to be a bunch of makeup games from postponements before Christmas. Shot there goes wide. Yeah, Sarah, those kinds of channels are huge right now. Absolutely huge right now. The other thing I would do is you got to go multi-platform. You need obvious, like, YouTube is a great place, but you also need TikTok. You also need Instagram, Twitter. Although I don't think Twitter's as important. Like, Twitter isn't as important. It's more of just kind of a spread the word about the channel type thing. But I would, for that kind of channel, you definitely need Instagram and you definitely need TikTok if you want to really, like, expand that audience and blow up. But obviously YouTube as well. Taken now. 7:05 to go in the third. Chance here for Johansson. He rips it wide. Ryan Johansson had the tied game on his stick. Tied game on his stick, but he ripped it wide. John thinks the Blues are going to win 7-3. TT thinks that the Blues are going to win 5-3. Johansson here had the game. No, Husso didn't have to get a glove on that. Johansson just missed that high. Johansson just missed that high. 7 minutes to go here. Offensive zone draw for the Preds. This one is coming down to the wire. Played around now, cleared up, out through the neutral zone. Predators go back to get it. It's Roman Josi. Trying to work it around now. Up to Carrier. Good hit there, but he's able to get it out of the zone. Blues stand up at neutral ice. Back into the Preds end. Sundqvist gets it deep. Taken here. Koskinen gets a hit. Koskinen gets hit by Josi. Sundqvist comes in and takes the puck in the corner, though. Now both teams are digging for it. Blues come away with it. Chance now, shot in there. And a nice pad save from Saros. Ego Sports, what's up, man? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Really, really appreciate it. Honestly, Jay Sean, I'd rather play Vegas than Florida right now, Jay Sean. I would not want to play Florida right now. Taken down now. 5:45 to go in the third period. Blues in the offensive zone, trying to hold the lead here. They would love an insurance marker. Get it back to a 2-goal lead. Here comes Nashville into the offensive zone. McCarron has it poked away. Down in the corner. Fighting for it along the wall now. Tolvanen comes in to help. Tomasino out there as well. Preds still rolling all 4 lines. They get their 4th line on the ice here. Down deep in the corner. Taken here. Shot there from Tomasino. Save. And up the wall. Pinch and kept in by Nashville. Out high again. Harper over. High slot shot. Bouncing around. That one's blocked. And the Blues keep it out for now. Nashville still has it, though, on the attack. Long shot there. That one through some traffic. Blocked up and out of play. 4:57 to go here. Third period. And we are going to head to a commercial break with under 5 minutes to go. Blues holding on to a 4-3 lead, but Nashville is pushing hard in the final minutes here of the third period, down by 1, looking to get this tying goal. And we'll have one last chance to catch our breath here during the intermission, and then it is going to be a frantic fight to the finish between these two teams. But welcome in, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. Really appreciate it. I cover the entire NHL, so fans of all teams are welcome and wanted here. It would really mean a lot if you could hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I cover the entire league, like I said. Everybody is welcome and wanted here. And we got a heck of a hockey game going on. Big divisional battle between the Predators and the Blues here tonight. And it's been a great hockey game all the way through. Andy, what's going on? Welcome in. Preds are pushing hard here. It wouldn't surprise me. Obviously, I still think this game can go very much either way. Preds getting that third goal and only being down by 1 for the final 5 minutes is a totally different dynamic versus, being down by 2 with only 5 minutes left. So only being down by 1, all you got to do is score 1 goal. You're 1 shot away from forcing OT. So Preds are still in this game. Blues, I still think, have a higher chance of winning. I think the win probability still favors the Blues because they're in the lead. But the Preds are absolutely not out of this. They are 1 shot away from at least getting a point, if not being able to win it in OT. It's not overtime yet. We're late in the third. It's going to be an offensive zone faceoff here for Nashville. The Blues take it. It's Mikola behind his own net. Backhanded up the wall. Chip to the middle. That's a giveaway. Husso with a big save on the shot from Duchesne. Back the other way now. That one gets dumped down. And it's taken in the corner here. Blues in the attacking zone now. Trying to dig for it. 4:30 to go. 4.5 left here. Behind the net now. Myers trying to work it out of the zone. Up the boards. It's cleared there by Nashville. See you later, Gideon. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Hopefully talk to you soon. Yeah, that was an absolutely brutal giveaway there, Jack. Duchesne couldn't finish it, though. Husso with a big stop. Taken now. Blues back in their own zone. Here's Tanner Jeannot for Nashville. Good forechecking pressure. Comes away with the puck. Pass out to Harper out high. Long shot and deflected just wide. Kyrou trying to get it out now. Puck battles, though, are being won by Nashville. Finally, the Blues are able to move it up. They get it out of the zone over the red line. Into the offensive end. Here comes Robert Thomas. Moved across. Poked away. Taken now. .3:25 to go here in the third. Nashville still looking for the tying goal. Back in their own zone, trying to start the breakout. Yeah, I think holding on is a good way to put it, Jack. St. Louis is trying to hold on. Nashville with a lot of pressure here. They keep it again in the offensive zone. Johansson against Parayko down low. Parayko trying to get it out, up the boards, off glass, cleared. Big clear there for the Blues. And is that puck going to reach for icing? No, it does not. Borowiecki goes back to get it. Moved up now. 2:40 now to go in the third. And given away in the neutral zone. Blues steal it back into the offensive end. Here's St. Louis, cross in front, and they finish it! Brayden Schenn puts this one away for St. Louis as they take a 5-3 lead with 2:35 remaining in the third. And that was a huge goal there for the Blues as Nashville had been pouring on the pressure. But the Blues are able to capitalize on the transition play there. And Barbashev and Schenn connect again. And that is the dagger. That line was absolutely phenomenal tonight. O'Reilly, Schenn, and Barbashev. Absolutely phenomenal tonight. A subscriber sent them to me, Duck. Subscriber sent them to me in the mail, and I got a pennant for all 32 teams in the league. Saros to the bench now as Nashville throws it in. Husso plays it, and we're going to have an empty net for Nashville. So empty net for the Predators here. 2:16 to go. Under 2.5 to go in the third period. We'll have an offensive zone face-off coming up here for the Predators, who now need 2 in the final 2:15. Trying to work it up now. Granlund in the face-off dot. Back for Forsberg. Out to the point to Yossi. Back now, other side, long shot. Deflected, up and out of play. And we'll get a whistle here. 2:08 remaining in the third. Hey, thank you, Cat B. Really, really appreciate you watching. That is awesome. Awesome to have you here. Thank you so much for the support. Yeah, speaking of that, I'm going to drop my upcoming stream schedule in the chat right now. That's the rest of this week in the chat, the games that I'll be doing. Thank you so much, Flint. Really, really appreciate it. Glad that you're enjoying the stream. Empty net here still for the Predators. Blues into the offensive zone. Can't get it into the goal, though. And there's a turnover, though. Nashville finally able to clear it back out. Long shot there, blocked down. Into the offensive end. Down low, sent in front. Scott, what's going on, dude? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. Long shot there. Yeah, 2 great games today. Couldn't have asked for 2 better games for the doubleheader today. Great divisional matchups, and they both really lived up to the hype. Cleared all the way down there by the Blues. That's going to be icing. 1:15 to go in the third. That'll come back down to the Predators' end. And it will, or excuse me, the Blues end. And it will be an offensive zone faceoff for the Predators. What I meant to say, my apologies. You did call it, TT. Congratulations. You did call it. We get a timeout call here by the Predators, so they're trying to drop a play for the faceoff here. Dominic, what's going on? Welcome in. John, thank you so much for watching. Have a great night. Really, really appreciate you being here. Yeah, I mean, obviously having those guys out on the back end for Nashville is a loss for sure, Jack. Yeah, Saros didn't have his best game in net for the Preds tonight either. That's for sure. So, I think, if Saros had been on a little bit more, Blues might not have scored as many goals, but he didn't have his best night in goal. Braden, what's going on? Welcome in. Thank you for being here. Because they're trying to score, Jay Sean. You got to put out the extra attacker to try and score a goal. Yeah, Flyers are really, really struggling right now, Braden. They are having a brutal year. That one's lofted up and cleared out. Hey, thank you for watching, Andy. Really appreciate it. And better luck on your next bet. I mean, it's hockey. It's tough to bet. My bets even are not very good a lot of the time. It's a really hard sport to bet, and just good luck next time. I hope it goes better. And thank you so much for stopping in. Really, really appreciate you watching, and it's great to have you here. 40 seconds now to go here in the third. Empty net still for the Preds, but they're struggling to even get it into the offensive zone. Running out of time here, down by 2. That 5th goal was the dagger. And we've got now only 23 seconds left in the game, as Husso's going to grab that with the glove. And we'll get a whistle here with 21 seconds to go. It will be an offensive zone for the Preds, but very much too little too late. Hey, thank you, Sasha. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys have been awesome all day today. Some of you were just here for this game. Some of you were here earlier as well when I did the Avalanche and Wild game. That was a really fun one too. So thank you guys all so much for the support over the course of today. And really, really, really appreciate it. And again, this channel would not exist without you guys supporting it. I wouldn't be able to do this. So you guys make this happen. Final 10 seconds now. Blues clear it out all the way down, and that's probably going to be an icing. Yeah, they do blow it dead with like literally less than a second to go. Like, why even bother? Just let the clock run out there. I know officially that was an icing, but there's literally 0.6 seconds left on the clock. Just run it to 0. Yo, we got a dono from Avi, dropping a 2 on the stream. Thank you so much. Really, really, really appreciate it. No, they're definitely doing the All-Star game, Avi. There's no doubt about that. They're definitely doing that. And finally, the horn sounds. 5-3 win for the Blues, as they actually now tie the Predators in points. So as far as the standings go, it's actually going to come down to who's played less games is going to take that second spot in the standings. But Blues pick up a big win here over the Nashville Predators, 5-3. And that is going to bring us to the end of this one. Avi, let's get that dono hype in the chat. Thank you so much for dropping a 2. Really, really, really appreciate it. Teams pull the goalie, Jay Sean, with like 3 minutes left. They literally will start pulling the goalie with like 2.5, 3 minutes left. It was just like, because it was a name that had like multiple meanings. Like off the wall can like mean crazy, which when I was starting the channel, I kind of had this vision for it kind of being like crazy takes and like crazy wild videos and stuff, which it didn't really turn into that. But when I went back at the beginning, I wanted it to kind of have that like crazy connotation of off the wall. And then also, like, you can just like it's a hockey term. Like, you can go off the wall with the puck. Like, defenseman goes off the wall and out of the zone. Like, chips it off the wall and out. Like, it was a hockey term, and it was also had that like crazy connotation to it. So that was the original thought when I named the channel. It hasn't, you know, like, obviously it's evolved now over the years, but I'm not going to change the name at this point. It's been off the wall hockey for like 4 years now, so I'm not going to change the name. Like, that's what it is now. All the branding, the name, all of that is set up. All right, guys, thank you so much. Have a great night, and thank you guys again all so much for the support. Really, really appreciate it. I'm going to drop my upcoming stream schedule in the chat one more time, but my next live stream will be tomorrow night at 7 p.m. between the Carolina Hurricanes and Boston Bruins. That should be a phenomenal game between those two. Both, hot teams. Carolina, one of the best in the league. Boston playing spectacular since the new year. I'm really, really excited for that game. So I'll be back tomorrow night for that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to drop the thumbs up and subscribe as well. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. Long day, 2 streams, doubleheader, tired. But please don't forget to like and subscribe. It really does help out the channel a lot. I cover the entire NHL, so fans of every team are welcome and wanted here. And really, really can't thank you guys enough for the support tonight. Have a great night. Have a great day tomorrow. And hopefully I'll talk to you all very, very soon. Thank you guys so much, and see you next time.